Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Derek, NASCAR man. I hate to hear that news. I'll call you or FaceTime you when I get off here. Elizabeth, good morning, honey, sweet love, and Monique. If you guys could share out on your Facebook, uh, share out the today's. Um, you guys, I'm tired from yesterday. Um, share out this program today. I'll do this, even tomorrow, and I might do some short videos to try to get some help. Derek, I know you kind of been out of the loop a little bit, but I just wanted to let you know that Sonja has been sick for about a year and she has been having a hard time, but she's been in the hospital about 6 months. Good morning, Myra. Um, Myra, if you have time and want to come up here, uh, let me know, and I can send out anybody. I can send out the link. But I think yesterday tired me out, uh, and today was hard. But then I got a pop up from Jocelyn, Sonja's daughter, and I'm like, I'm getting up. There's no way that I am going to lay in this bed. But so far, I am. I thank God that we've raised $230. It shows 130 on the um, website, but someone sent some personally to my see, you guys, I can't even half talk this morning. Oh goodness. PayPal. See, I couldn't remember till I clicked on it. So I was able to go send it directly to Jocelyn. So I thank God for the people that are giving. All right, Monique. But yes, let me put the link out there. Not share, do invite. It took me forever this morning to figure out how I could screen share her picture. And it makes me feel like that, she is on. Let me see. Can you guys hear me okay? That it makes me feel like she's actually up here, with me. It's Let me send the link to Jocelyn so she'll know I'm on. And I will be glad when Jocelyn, which is Sonja's daughter that's right there by her side, I will be glad when she starts coming on here. Well, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Long time no see.
Yep.
Oh, and we're matching.
Yeah. How you doing?
Kind of feeling a little bit lost and discombobulated. Now you tell me you have cancer, and Sonja's fighting for her life, and Tracy, they pushed out her surgery until November that she needs, and she can't even sleep at night for being in pain.
Yep.
So it's like,
Well, I'm 2 weeks post-op from surgery, so
all right. So when is your surgery going to be?
I'm already post-op.
Oh, all right.
I've already had it. I have pancreatic cancer.
Oh, Derek. Um, my brother. That's what my younger brother passed away from.
So they
How?
got I I went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling well, and got the doctor come in, closed the door, and said that we found a tumor on your pancreas, and we're gonna admit you. And next thing I know, I had an oncologist sitting in front of me.
Um, were they? Is that something that can be reversed? I don't know how to.
Well, when I went in for surgery, they took the one I have in my pancreas. They cut that one out, but they took half of my pancreas, my spleen, and my lymph nodes. So, but now I have another spot in my thyroid, and I have another spot in my intestines that they're working on. So I've already lost 48 pounds already, and I'm just trying to can't eat, just sitting at home, just making every day count. Um,
Um, I'm going to type this and also say any prayer requests are welcome, you guys, because there's a lot of people out there. We've had people uh, dying that we actually know,
mhm.
from COVID,
Yep.
um, left and right. And but there's other things, just like with you with cancer, and it's like it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
It does.
And right now, Sonja's daughter has been taking, been sitting by her, and that's her oldest daughter. Her oldest daughter's 24,
Right.
and they're going to send her to, from what I read this morning, to a hospital in the city,
Mhm.
and the specialized hospital
Yep.
to deal with everything. It's in her lymph nodes,
Mhm.
poison or whatever. She got sick in that house,
Yep.
and the toxic mold, for
Mhm.
one person, I guess it don't affect, but it got in her intestines. It got into her lungs. It got into all of her lymph nodes, and it's just a nonstop thing.
Mhm.
And right now, they had to insert a feeding tube directly into her intestines,
Yep.
not in her stomach. I thought it was going to her stomach. No.
No.
Um, so they're still doing it through feeding tube through the nose, plus that trying.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, it's been really hard, and it makes you, and I'm sure, because I haven't seen you anywhere, and I'm sure it's made you just kind of step back and want to just hide or give up or
I when I found out when and this was late July, I found out, and I didn't know what to do. I was lost, um, and then I didn't. I had no clue what to do, so I just shut everything down and just went through, and then I had the biopsy. They found that's and he couldn't the biopsy was so hard for where the tumor was. It was hard for them to get to. They got around somewhat the area, and then he says, "Oh, we have to go right to a surgeon." And I was planning on having the surgery on the 13th of last Monday, and the surgeon's like, she called me the day Kyle left to go back to school, um, on the 19th of August, and she's like, "Well, you can either have it done next Thursday, or you have to wait until October, because that's when because I had it done robotically."
yeah,
And I says, "Well, that screwed all my plans up. I didn't, you know." And she said, "You're going to be in for you're going to be in the 3 to 5 days, and then you got 6 weeks or more recovery, and then we have to go and see what else we got to do. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm 3.5 weeks in now. I have nursing coming 3 times a week. I have dressings I have to get changed. I have 7 incisions all throughout everywhere, and it's just a mess. My right hand doesn't work right. They put an arterial line in my artery in my left hand in my right hand, and it blew, and they hit a nerve, and it blew my hand up. So
Oh,
occupational therapy is working on my right hand. I have trouble working with my right hand. Um, it's just one thing after another. It's never ending. So
do you have somebody helping you?
just the nursing, and Adam's here when he comes home from school. But after that, just my dad comes over. But my mom just had to have emergency surgery last 3 days ago because she had a blockage in her intestines. So she's recovering. So he's taking care of her.
How's her cancer doing? Um,
Not good.
Myra said, "Do you have a wound vacuum?"
Oh, you mean a? I had a drain. Yeah, the drains got pulled, and that was not very comfortable.
Good morning, Michelle.
Just think of a snake coming out of your body. That's
Yeah,
what. Oh God. So yeah, they pulled that, and man, it. Yeah, I had the greatest care I've had in the hospital, but there was 2 days that I thought for sure that I wasn't gonna make it. But everybody, I had some people PM me, and they were like, Derek, you're fine. You'll make it through. You'll make it through. And my friend Martha, who you know who that
yeah,
is,
yeah,
she's a dialysis nurse, so she's been constantly on the phone with me and every day and making sure I'm okay. And she just left to go to West Virginia. Her daughter had her baby yesterday, so I'm so happy for her. And but we're all battling things. So, but she's been my right hand person, even though she's not doesn't live in the state. She's been there for me every day.
yeah. Well, are you back in where you were, or where are you living now?
I'm still in the same spot. Still in the,
Wait,
so
where
I
you moved to, or
no,
you went back home?
I'm still in Rhode Island.
Okay,
I when I found out I had cancer, I put my whole life's on hold right now. That's
yeah,
how I feel.
yeah,
So, but still planning on moving to Pennsylvania. I have a place there. It's just I can't leave with all the doctors that I have right now. I just can't get up and not go to a place where I don't have anything.
yeah. Myra says she had one removed. Yeah, yeah. Myra, it seemed. Or do you have any problems now? Because it seemed like you were out of commission for a long time. I do ask anybody in here if you will share this out on your Facebook, so that way we can get some more donations for Sonja.
Mhm.
That will be going to Jocelyn, and I want to keep it going and try to get as much to help. And oh, thank you, Diana. Thank you, honey. Diana,
Amen.
are you doing your schoolwork today? Are you able to jump up here?
She just came in from her run, but I want to show you my new friend and my new technique I'm doing to help me get through.
What in the world?
Hello, everybody. My name's Wrinkles.
Oh my goodness. That's your new best friend.
That's my new best friend. That's my new best friend. It's just wrinkles. How y'all doing? Hey,
You're not right.
he got wrinkles. He's got his tag. So he's my buddy.
I'm sorry. Okay, Diana, Myra. And Myra, it hurts to sit all day too, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Because when I was on yesterday over 2 hours NASCAR. Used to we did it, didn't even think nothing about it, and I was sitting in my darn kitchen chair at the time.
Hmm.
But right now, whoo, yesterday 2 hours got me. Plus I had other things to do, but still, um, ever since I got so sick, July was a year ago. I can't get myself back.
Right.
Excuse me. And I think a lot of it has to do with um, our crew scattered. We're not scattered. That's the wrong word to use. We all still get together on FaceTime and all, but
Right.
um, I don't like people being in pain.
Right.
Not you, not Myra, not Tracy. All the people I love. When I see, I want to fix. I'm a fixer. I want to fix things.
Right.
And I just didn't think that I would be able to come back up here without everybody. Oh, and Monique, Denise's power went out.
Oh boy.
But I don't know what I was thinking, Derek, because everybody in the chat, they're with me.
Right.
So I don't know what I was thinking. But it did make me feel more comfortable to have Sonja up here like she used to.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I didn't know them. I wasn't subscribed, but I did go look them up. Alabama Pickers. So
That's that was Dusty.
yeah.
Dusty. Yeah.
So both of them are gone now.
Yeah. I found out from Scott, because Scott and Dusty were best friends for a long time, and yeah, he
Well,
was.
Dwayne let me know
Yeah.
early yesterday morning, and I went
Hmm.
to, and oh my goodness, there was a bunch of people doing their lives to update the resale community,
Right.
um, what happened. But, Blandine's son,
Yeah.
he passed too. And I went through her page and looked at pictures
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And it's just, so she's lost a husband and a son.
Yeah.
And,
But
within a year's time, I think. And
yeah.
it's just, a lot of people are having to be strong. A lot of, the world didn't stop because COVID didn't really stop the world. We've still, so much is going on. But it seems like it's taking the younger people. 40s is young.
Yep.
40s is where people are supposed to be kind of physically stronger. And I'm seeing across the board that these 40-year-olds are um, passing
Struggling.
away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found my buddy here. I had my biopsy on a Thursday. Kyle left on a Friday to go back to school, and I didn't feel I because everybody was going. My mom, my dad, Adam, and Kyle. They all went to New York to take Kyle back to school, and I was sitting here, and Dina came by, and she goes, "What's the matter?" I says, "Well, I want to go up to New Hampshire to go to the Goodwill bins, because I don't know if I'll ever make it back up there again." I said, so we all just, it was the first time ever going up there, and he was sitting on the shelf, and he cost me $1.25 because we could by weight, and literally he drove home in my lap, and it's just,
Well,
he's my buddy.
whatever um, makes you. All right, I'm reading what Myra said. All right, Myra, let me highlight that.
The 24th, yeah.
Let me write that down. Okay, Diana. So on the 24th.
Yep.
Wait, 8/24.
No, don't you mean 9/24? 8/24 was last month.
Yeah, it. I'm gonna write it down as 9:24. What time is the auction? What time does she usually jewelry nurse Cindy usually go on?
Like 8 o'clock, usually 7, 8 o'clock. Usually that Cindy goes on.
See, I since I don't use my Kevin has the laptop now. I okay. um, since Kevin uses his laptop,
Mm-hmm.
I can't on a even though I have an iPhone, I can't see well enough
Mm-hmm.
to follow. And then if you turn it a certain sideways and the chat comes up, to I think I'll get Kevin let me borrow his laptop.
Yeah,
Okay, she said the thumbnail's not up yet.
yeah,
Okay.
she'll put it up on like a Tuesday or before then.
Usually, yeah, I'll see it. Usually it pops up in my email.
Yeah, same here. Yep.
I think I'm gonna have to get me another laptop so I can use it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but hey, good morning, Dawn. Good
Hi,
morning.
Dawn. Long time no see.
So, okay, 7:30 Eastern time. Okay. Dawn, if the picture up there is of Sonja, she was always on my panel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember her being up there, but I did do a page for her to try to raise some money. Mostly, I was going to get people come up here that knows her and give some kind words because her daughter does play. She plays these for her mom. She even went back to some that made her laugh. She said when she watched them that she didn't get to see that side of her mom much, and but yeah, she plays them and she reads what people says. So I do believe that Sonia still hears what because
Mm-hmm.
she said that her mom was still kind of squeeze her hand. So any kind words, and that's really what I was going to do. Um, but then I thought, well, let me go ahead, and do a Leticia when they were homeless tried to do a GoFundMe,
Mm-hmm.
but I went ahead and done it through PayPal. PayPal said they share it out too to other people, to other groups.
Yep.
So I did that. So Dawn, if you could share this out for me, I would greatly appreciate it. As many people that can see it, maybe they will be able to give. Um, let me put again. I have it in the description on YouTube, but
Mm-hmm.
let me paste it again there. But yeah, this morning I fed the fur baby. I threw some stuff in the bowl. Thank you, Dawn. I put her in the cage on my bed, threw some her food in. I went back to sleep. Then I put her back in the other cage. I was that tired today, but this is the first time I've went 4 days in a row, Derek.
No,
This is the first time, and I don't know how long I've made 4 days. And you know what? Tomorrow's hat day. I'm gonna do tomorrow too. So
that's cool. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on, and it's just there's so many other things that I need to worry about and get done. And I mean, I thank everybody for still being. I still have 1.14 uh, subscribers, 1,000. So I'm
that's
glad
good.
about that. But maybe when I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and we'll see with everything going on. Holidays coming around again, and you know,
Um, Myra, I'm gonna have to think of a special hat especially something Sonja would have thought was funny. Her daughter really laughed, Derek, when she heard her mama talking about the coffee maker. This one's quiet,
Mm-hmm.
but when she was talking about the coffee maker made her had to wee, is what Dwayne says she called it, had to wee.
Had the week.
Um, and she said even though she's sitting by her mom, she had one earbud in hers, one in her mama's. She said she would have tears but laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
Or that her mom got so tickled because I said, "Oh, let me stick the pin in you," and I'm, "Oh, not in you, but in my map right here." And she said she laughed at that because her mama thought that was the funniest thing in the world, sticking a pin in somebody. So I didn't. You don't realize when you do things how many people are affected, whether on a good way or bad way.
Right way. Right.
That's why um, with Mama,
Mm-hmm.
it knocked me out. It just knocked me out of commission for 3 months or so. And
Yep.
it was so hard to get myself back. And,
I know.
um,
It was hard.
and I shut down and I didn't realize what it did around me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't realize what it did around me until I read a letter Casey wrote to Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the effect, kind of the ripple effect. And Casey, I guess I lean on him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Denise said he's got big shoulders, but you have to remember sometimes, no matter how big the shoulders are, it's hard to see your mom struggle
Mm-hmm.
because you've been there.
Yeah.
It's different seeing your mom struggle.
And I'm seeing that now, and
Yeah.
it's so hard.
Yes, Mama was a mess, Dawn. We got talking about it. Might have been yesterday. I was all over the world yesterday. It was like I sent Dwayne a message afterwards. I said, "Look, how did we do? How did I do?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Look, I done run out things to say." I said I talked my lipstick off too, but I said yesterday, Dawn, that Mama did that little rap thing, and I did one about her in the bathroom, and she laughed so hard. Casey had to get help her in the bathroom. Me and it took both of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we got laughing so hard he almost dropped her on the toilet back down. And we were laughing so hard when I did that rap. Casey said, "Mama," I said, "Well," I said, "Well, Mama rapped, but it's not something I can rap here." So I mean, it's not real bad, but
Yep.
Mama was something. Part of my healing was when I finally got in her room. I tore up the old linoleum on the floors and found out that Pretty Pine was up under there, unfinished, but it's pretty. I painted it. I painted her room a real pretty grayish color and repainted dressers. And, once I got in there, I felt good. But for her room to be in there dark or just, it sounded hollow.
Yep.
Everything echoed. And, we'd get up at night to go bathroom. I was used to Lifetime being on or Mama talking to people late night on the
Mm-hmm.
I got where I couldn't sleep. I told Keevan, I got to have TV on. It's too quiet
Right.
because in our room, it didn't bother me. I could go to sleep, but I fell asleep to hearing Mama on the computer and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got in her room, it was like, okay, I'm good. But some days that I don't want to deal with life. I don't want to deal with everything going on everywhere. I find myself not even wanting to come out of the bedroom.
All right.
But
I
there's our
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me mute you. Wait a minute.
Keevan's been trying to mute me for 35 years.
I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
Hey NASCAR, how you doing? I haven't seen you forever.
Not good.
Not good. What's
No,
going on?
I have cancer now.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
What kind of cancer?
Pancreatic cancer.
Oh my gosh. And what are they doing for it?
Well, I just had major surgery 2 weeks ago, and I go back to the oncologist next Friday, and we're gonna probably do chemo for the other 3 spots that they have to do.
Yes.
They pulled my spleen out. They pulled my lymph nodes out. They pulled half of my pancreas, but I have,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
How long has this been going on?
I got diagnosed July 26th, and I just had everything done. I'm like 2.5, almost 3 weeks into post-op from the surgery. So,
And how did you know that you were sick? What were your symptoms?
I lost 37 pounds
Oh my
in
gosh.
2 weeks.
Good morning, the truth. I like to read the truth. My conscience is captured by God, empowered by Scripture. For my sake, by my side with my strength. May God bless you all. Thank you, the truth. Thank you. I always love when he pops in here.
My heart goes out to everyone right now who's going through sickness. I mean, I go on Facebook in the mornings, and up and down my news feed, everyone is sick. It's like, what in the world is going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I am sorry for you. I am so sorry you're going through this.
I went through because I was losing weight, and I went to a lacrosse tournament for my son, and it was 106 degrees out, so I got a little dehydrated. So I went in, and all of a sudden the door closed, and the doctor closed the door and said, "So I have to tell you something." She goes, "We found a tumor on your pancreas, and we need to admit you." And that's when everything just went right down, and
Well, I was hesitant about explaining my brothers, but because I don't, I don't want to scare you but my brother wasn't feeling good. Well, I saw him we went to his house in July, me and my husband and my grandson, about 5-6 years ago. And we didn't get together very much because he was very bipolar and everything, but he come by one day out of the blue and said, "Well, come to the house and we'll grill out." And so me and Kevin and my grandson went. And when I pulled up, he come out of the house, I looked at him, and then when we left, I told my husband, I said, "He's sick." Kevin said, "He looks good." But he had lost a little bit of weight. They were on a diet, him and his wife. I said, "Kevin, he's sick. Something's wrong with him." So that was in July. When my mom called me in September, and I didn't want to take her call. I didn't want to take it because I knew. And she told me that he had pancreatic cancer. He didn't feel good, went to the doctor, and they said, "Get your affairs in order." And he said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Get your affairs in order. You're stage 4 pancreatic cancer." I mean, out of the blue. And he didn't make it. He passed in December, 2 weeks before his 50th birthday. So,
I want to give I want to give some hope here, and there is I run every day, as y'all know, walk, run, whatever you want to call it, depends on the day. And a few years back, I met a couple on the trail that happened to live on the golf course. And I don't live on the golf course. I live in a private community, but I run past the golf course. And we got to talking, and they're a wonderful, wonderful older couple. He had gotten pancreatic cancer. He had gotten it 5.5 years prior to meeting me. And he got cured of it. I don't know how they did it, but he got cured of it. The doctor did some kind of procedure, and he got cured of pancreatic cancer. So I do want to put that hope out there.
There is no illness too big for God. He's still in control. Myra want to know, do you have diabetes?
No, I do. No, I
Oh,
do not. But because now that I don't have a spleen, they have me. And part of my pancreas is gone. I have to take blood sugars every day just to be on the safe side.
I don't know why I thought you were, but
No,
How old are you? How old are you, Derek?
I'm going to be 49 in 4 days.
Okay, 49. So you're very, very young. You know, life is unpredictable. And I tell people this all the time. I have a friend right now, she and her, two friends that are very, very sick right now with, you know, what we're talking about, the thing that's going around. And it's just unpredictable in life, unpredictable. And we just need to, you know, I believe that's why we all have to trust in God. We all have to ultimately put our faith in God.
we do. I mean, I don't know how people that don't believe have hope, you know, with a hopeless situation.
Well, they put their hope in man. What they do is, and we're seeing it right now, is they put their hope in people. They put their hope in man.
Well, who was the cyclist? He was well known for.
Lance Armstrong.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
he flat said, "I don't believe in God. God didn't heal me." And when he said that, I was like, "Oh
So
my
much arrogance going on right now. So much arrogance, so much blame, so much division. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And today I'm going to make a video and it's going to, well, I'm going to call it something like Blame, Division, and the Outhouse. Grandma tells a story about the outhouse. You know, I always bring grandma into it.
Yep. Well, we still have our outhouse.
Well, you better keep it. You, as grandma would say, you better keep that outhouse. You never know when you might need it.
I'm telling you. Good morning, my Ken doll. Good morning, Kent. Now, Chris wanted to come in. He sent me a message and I sent him the link. I don't know where Chris is. All right, Chris, where you at? Do you do know?
Darlene, I am so sorry. I have not been up lately. You know, I go to college full time, and it has been so extraordinarily busy.
I know, and I haven't. You know, this is the first time I've actually. Derek fell off. This is the first time that I've done this consecutive. And you know, Diana, you told me one time, well, don't feel like you have to get up at a certain time early and do it. Do it when you feel like it. So,
you know, I'm flipping my whole life. I'm becoming a night owl. And my sister was a night owl. My grandmother was a night owl. And one of my best friends stays up until 8 o'clock in the morning. She flips it. And
don't be flipping your hair.
No more. I'm not going
to. No, flip whatever you want, but don't flip your hair. Tell them why.
You know that whole story. And I'm going to, you know what, I've pegged it down to, and I know a lot of people will disagree and say it's, you know, far out there. That whole time period, that month, was a spiritual attack. I was totally under attack. And I mean, from my back going out to being hauled off in the 911 due to the pouring of, you know, the red stuff, to the car in front of me. You know the story about the car that was in front of me. I mean, the car was literally, it had to be either my angel or their angel. And I don't know whose angel it was that lifted that car up and moved it to the side so that truck wouldn't have hit it, because we would have all been gone. And I mean, it was an unbelievable, I do believe in that. I do. And I've done videos on that.
Well, yes, because I was talking yesterday with Heather, you know, you missed it. Mothership's wife come on, Heather. Dwayne's wife, Heather, was on with me yesterday. But afterward, you know, after we shut everything down, we were still in StreamYard talking. I told her, I said, you know, we live in a very spiritual world. I said, you know, you have to believe, if you believe in one, you have to believe in the other. So yeah, there's things out there that will attack you. But
oh my goodness. You know, everything.
We have to battle it.
You know me, I miss positive, miss health, miss all of this. All of a sudden, everything was coming down on me. I mean, it was horrendous. I mean,
a spiritual attack.
I came out of college one night And, because I was going, right now, all of my professors are letting me do everything online, which is very hard to do, but I'm doing it all online and I'm doing it great, but it's a lot of work. But anyhow, I came out of class one night before I started doing it online, and I came out, it was dark, and I put my GPS on because I go to school an hour and a half away. And I told this story on my channel, and you probably already heard this, but many haven't. And I got into the car, and this was during that month period. I got into the car and I set my GPS for home. My GPS put me on a road and it said, go 18 miles straight. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. That's not my normal way, but I'll pay attention. I'll listen. Maybe it's a shorter way. It said, go 18 miles straight. Now, I have a brand new car. The GPS works beautifully. There's been no problems with it. And it's telling me to go 18 miles straight. So there I am in the dark, and I'm going, there's no other cars on this road, this highway, brand new highway. I'm on this highway by myself, no lights, out on the, all of a sudden, a drop off, a dead end. It said road closed. All of a sudden, I'm out there late at night, or 9 o'clock at night, dark, on this dead end road, and I couldn't get over to the other side to go backwards. So I was going to have to go backwards on incoming traffic if there was any. And my GPS went crazy. This is the kind of stuff that was happening to me. But that car there was a truck sitting on the side of the highway, and it directly pulled out in front of a car, inches. We're just talking inches, not even feet. That car lifted up and moved to the side. It was miraculous. I've never seen anything like it. And I just said, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. It's God's warning for me to stay home. So I've been staying home, other than my run.
Good morning, Glenn.
So I do believe in that. I felt I was under something, and I felt that God was trying to tell me to stay home. Maybe it's because of all that's going around, and I was exposing myself out there, to who knows what, because there's, a lot of people in classes. And so I just chosen to stay home. And that's what I'm doing right now, is staying home other than going for my run.
Glenn, what I'm doing, beautiful Sonja, is so much easier. I should have done that yesterday. I'd have felt more easy to put her face up there, because it got to where she would always come on. Sometimes it was me and her on, just the two of us when everybody else was sick and in pain.
Sonja is so wonderful. She's amazing.
Yes. So Glenn, she's been in the hospital 6 months. Her daughter's 24. Her daughter's sitting by her side this whole time, and she's handling her mom's affairs. And there's 3 teenagers, from young to older teenagers, that this 24-year-old is taking care of the best way she can, managing her mom's affairs and stuff. So I believe a 24-year-old, she is amazing, you guys. This Jocelyn has the heart of her mama. I mean, for her to be dealing with this at such a young age. So, we have a fundraiser going, and the funds will go to help the kids. I told her daughter, don't pay on hospital bills. Use it for you and the kids, because sitting at a hospital, and you're having to eat hospital food or in the cafeteria or getting snacks out of a machine, that adds up. And this child has been doing it she's been doing it 6 months. Now the grandfather lives with the kids, so Sonja was hesitant about letting anybody know that she was sick and or anything, but a grandfather's there with those older teenagers, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're being taken care of. And but her daughter finally said yes, put it out there. Prayers, by her going back and forth with us on Facebook, we're using Sonja's chat. So she's been chatting with us this whole time. Finally, she said, put it out there so other people can pray for her. It wasn't about money for her. She was very didn't know how to take it when I said I wanted to raise some money for her. She didn't know how to accept that. But she said, put it out there so other people can pray for my mama. Because watching your live streams with mama, I didn't realize how many people out there uh, love my mama. All these strange people. So, yeah, she started watching older things with her mom on it, and she said she'd cry and laugh. So, yes, today I finally figured out how to put her beautiful picture up there. And, you know, it's making it easier because it's like she's sitting there. Um,
It's so tragic when sickness comes, and it just disrupts not just the person who's sick, but it disrupts the whole family in ways that are unbelievable. And when a mother takes sick, especially,
yes,
it's so much harder, especially when her children are younger.
yes,
It's terrible. And poor Sonja.
yeah. But they pretty much have her in a medical induced comatose state where they sometimes they try to bring her out of it, but for them to move her, position her, to work with her legs, to massage her hands and all that, it causes her so much pain. And then that works on her heart, so they have to keep her down. But when her daughter plays she'll play the videos that Monique sends her with music, the music videos. Her mom will have a tear. Her mom will, but so she hears it. She knows. She hears it. So that's why I said anybody that wants to come up and and say, yeah, Sonja's a wonderful person, or put it in the chat. Her daughter's going to read this stuff to her and let her know. I even left a voice message, the other day. I just said, Sonja, I love you. We're ready for you to come back, get well, because so many people need you. And
Darlene, would you do me a favor when you have time? You don't have to do it right now.
Mhm.
Would you put that link in my Facebook Messenger
Yes,
for me, so that because I get so distracted with all my schoolwork and with
yeah.
everything, and I want to go to it. So if you put it in my
The
Messenger, I will get it at some point.
the fundraiser one.
Yes.
Okay, yes. And if let me there you are. And if any time today you're up to doing a live, let me know and I'll come on your channel.
Thank you. Thank you. I have not, I did a live about 3 weeks ago. It just popped on. But hey, NASCAR, again, welcome back. I did a live about 3 weeks ago, but because I've got so much college work, and I spend an average of about 14 hours a day behind this computer after I get in from my run, and I have massive exams, and so I'm not doing lives too much right now. But I do hope periodically I pop on. So if I do decide to periodically pop on again, I will do that.
Um,
That's my phone. That's
Swamp
my phone.
Pepper, I did not know that until, well, I knew Dwayne told me about his wife when he was here. Mothership landed at our house last Wednesday, is what I call it. So he told me about Dusty's wife,
Yeah.
how he woke up to his wife that way. That's horrifying. And then he put in the chat that about Dusty. I think he put in there yesterday. But also, he told me earlier this week about Blandine's son, and that shocked me. I'm on her Facebook, but you know what? Facebook, all they want to do is show you ads.
Yep.
You're not seeing your friends, what they're posting. You're
No.
seeing all these ads, and that shocked me. And Dwayne said, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I said, no, I'm glad you told me. I was able to reach out to her.
Yes, yes.
And then we
So you.
also have uh, uh, Derek. You know who Mystique is, Mystique Days.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
her son is in the hospital. He's got leukemia. He's a teenager. and he's in Tennessee hospital, and he, bless his
Jeez.
heart, she's been sitting by his side, and next week I'm gonna do I want to do one on Isaiah. So when you see the name Isaiah in my title, I really want, she needs some help too. Um,
Yeah.
Bless her heart. She's her family. She's doing what do you call it? When you Skype, yeah.
So you want to
She's
see
having
my you want to see my new niece?
your new niece. Oh, you don't got another animal?
Yeah.
What have you got, Derek?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look. Who,
No, I
who's
told
So
you
Lucy?
precious.
Martha had her, and I'm Uncle
Oh, that's,
Derek.
oh, how pretty. You know, we sometimes during all the sadness, we need our happy place.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We
That's my.
can't go for happiness.
And,
Yep.
taking care of that fur
That's my
baby that I
niece.
Yeah.
taking care of that fur baby that I had. She was we got her just like a day or two old, and she hardly had any hair. And me sitting there, even though it wore me out every 3 hours feeding her, it took my mind off everything.
Yes,
And
Yep.
giving life to something. And
yes.
as she has grown, it has helped. And my daughter's doing really great, Diana. I'll have to send you a picture of what she looks like right now. I come across a picture last night at the place she's in. I every now and then I check their Facebook, and I'll go through pictures. And oh, there's Tiffany, and oh my gosh, look how good she looks. So, um, that's a blessing. And she sends me letters and says, "Mom, pray, Mom." Um, all the things like I taught her is coming back to me because she said, "Well, Mom, you always told me this." So she didn't forget
Yep,
the
they don't
thing
forget. And one of the things is a mother's prayers are never gone. They're
that.
always out there forever. Hey, Chris. Hey, wonderful to see you. How are you
Mm,
doing now, Chris?
Good morning, my love. Tell her
it's
what
so good,
happened.
baby.
Tell her what happened, Chris, because I don't know if Diana
I
knows.
know, I know his girlfriend,
Oh,
Cash.
okay. Okay. He's
You doing okay?
A little bit. Slowly getting better.
it takes time, Chris. It really does. It takes time.
And look who's here.
Oh, my
Oh,
precious. Everybody's gonna think her name is Precious.
oh, how adorable. Oh,
Look at Jasmine.
Chris looks so much like my one son. He really does. Hey, Jarlene, I've got to go because I've got a test to do. But I just wanted to pop on here and show some love for Sonja and show
Thank
some love
you.
to you and say hello to everyone. And my disappearance is really because I'm in school so much. And
And
it's
you better quit. Stop second guessing yourself, woman.
I know, I
Stop
know,
worrying. Stop
I
second
know.
guessing because you got this.
I know. Thank you. I took that test 2 days ago, and
Yep.
I really didn't think I was going to pass it, and I ended up with 100. I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned.
Well,
And so it's hard. It's really hard stuff. And but I hang in there. I'm hanging in there. Well,
well,
thank you, and love to all of you, and thank you, Jarlene, for having me up.
I love you.
I love you, and we'll talk again soon. Bye,
Okay.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Yeah. I pray over her schoolwork, you guys. I know some people might think, what? But yeah, because,
So
she
what's
stresses.
so
I
what's going
could,
what's going so what's going on with Sonya? Is she okay?
well, she's still in the hospital, Chris. She's been in the hospital 6 months. That's why you haven't seen, well, even when she was in one hospital, she still um, came on with her oxygen on and, really sick. She's from the hospital, but she's been in there 6 months, Chris.
Oh,
And so, you know, yes, Monique, I know I second guess myself too. I do. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning. Um, I do feel much better, more relaxed. That I have Sonia's picture up there. I should have did it all this week. That I mean, I miss. Good morning, Hetty. I miss that beautiful face right there. You know, when I was in the hospital sitting with Mama for the 10 days, I got FaceTimed, by all, Denise and Sonia and Liz and Tracy, all of them would FaceTime me, and I got to see all of their beautiful faces. And that's what God let me have to help me with what I was dealing with. And one time I had to walk out and went in the kind of a lobby area, and I broke down crying, and they just let me cry. They were right there with me, and that beautiful face. So I told her daughter, I said, your mama, when I sat in the hospital with my mom, I said, your mother was right there with me. I said, she was right there with me every day. And I said, her beautiful face. So I thank God he has turned things to where a group of us are able, she's chatting with a group of us, the daughter is. And I thank God that he's allowed us to help her daughter in any way that we can. What better gift can God put on our heart to give Sonia, but to be there, for her daughter while she's sitting by her mom's side. So, and I'm not saying that boastful. I don't want anybody to think that's boastful. But what I'm saying, it's an honor. It is an honor that, and to be able to be as close to her daughter, I feel as that I am to Sonia. Sonia is like, Monique says she's like her niece. I said she feels like my daughter. Um, but she has those mother hens around. Um, and I thank God that she's still there. And they're going to move her to a specialized hospital to try to get better care. And I'm praying that they still allow Jocelyn to be there with her mom in the hospital, because right now in Australia, the area they're in, I think Victoria. Am I right, Monique? Isn't it the Victoria area? Is right now is very high rate of COVID again, and her daughter's not comfortable even being in the city because that's even further away from everybody. So prayers not only for Sonia, but prayers also, you guys, for her children and her dad. Her three children at home. They want her home. Uh, it's hard when the main matriarch is not there.
yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Surrender. It is beautiful. The things that her mom has been able to speak, even though it's very low and she has to really listen, has been amazing. Um, it's like Sonia, through all of this, is still teaching her daughter. She's still teaching her daughter in her own way. God is speaking through Sonia to her daughter. And it's amazing. We've been on this journey and have gotten to hear through Jocelyn the things her mama has said.
There's a little precious.
Oh, precious. She is precious. She is precious. Oh, and Hetty,
The,
they're still draining fluid off of her lungs, so she's got a tube draining that. She has a feeding tube going through her nose.
yeah.
She
Mhm.
has a feeding tube going directly, they had to do it surgically, going directly into her intestines.
You can lay down, baby girl.
All of her intestines, bowels, and everything's ulcerated. And all of this, the doctor said, could have been avoided. He flat told her daughter, pretty much it's unacceptable how the shape she's in, that this should have been dealt with by all the doctors that she was going to.
So, so look,
And sometimes,
you like doing the 11:15 live stream, or you want to change that?
well, it's just when I feel like getting up, Chris. This morning, I almost didn't do this until I got a message from Jocelyn, and I thought, get my tail up, um, get in there because they need help. But yes, so it's her heart. They have to keep her medicated so her heart don't overwork.
It's
These doctors, I get
like
angry. And I tell Joss, I say, Joss, I'm so angry.
it. Is she really? Is sounding like really sick? Like
Oh,
is
yes.
she?
Yes, Chris.
Like
Yes.
like what's going on? Is she like having really bad health problems?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
They have her on so much medicine that she can't respond. So, yes, she needs your prayers, Chris.
I'll
Very
definitely pray for her and her family too.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, I look, your prayers help because you've prayed for me enough and I could feel it. So, you guys
And
prayers work.
and and you guys prayed for me when I was going through a rough time with losing my girlfriend.
Yes,
That
we
live stream
did.
you guys did for me, it made me really special.
Well,
Even
you
though it
are.
was even though it was 30 minutes, but that's okay. You guys were still there for me.
We're here for you. You know good and well. You can call me just like you did that night that she passed away. You can call me anytime, anytime.
Mhm.
But yes, I couldn't stay on long, Chris. Emotionally, it hurt my heart so bad. It did. You know.
Well, at least you
Um,
got to meet. At least you got to meet her for the first time for the first time though.
I was glad I was. Yes, there was. It got to where when she was there, I'd like, oh, who you got in the background with you?
I said that's my girlfriend.
And I said, you didn't even ask my permission to get you a girlfriend. But Chris, God will bring somebody else. It won't be the same. It
But
won't.
I'm gonna take some time. I'm not
Yes.
gonna rush. I'm not gonna
Oh
rush it.
no. But it won't be the same. Nobody can ever take her place. But
Yeah.
in God's time, there'll be somebody else. And you know what? They're going to be a special, loving person because that's what you are. You are a
Oh.
special, very loving person. And I
Yep.
thank God I met you on Super Dave's channel.
Yep.
The very first video I watched was you asking prayers for your mama because she was sick. That's the video I remember. And with Sonja, the very first video I remember of her was her asking for prayer because she wanted to keep her animals. And,
There she is.
and it's funny how I remember first videos. Tracy's first video, somebody's being rude and running into her with her cane. And, her leg was bothering
Look,
her. And
look
I
at
told her there's rude people all over the world. It don't matter. There's
your precious is staring at the camera like she's watching a live. Oh,
And
there she goes.
Chris, you pray for Liz Ann because I call her Snoop Dogg, but
Yeah.
Chica, her dog is barely hanging on. She's
No.
11 years old and they look to lose her any day. So pray for
Oh.
Liz's family's heart because a fur baby is part of a family. So, you know, Think of think of Chica, which I call Snoop Dogg. Dwayne, I sent Heather the link in case she wakes up. Oh, I enjoyed talking with her yesterday. I said, Heather, we talk, the two of us talk about as much as each other does. But Dwayne, I bet it's kind of a shock to come on and see that beautiful face of Sonja's, isn't it? I want her back. I want her back. Oh my gosh. She didn't get in the bed till about 4 a.m. She was wound up. Well, Diana said she might start doing, she's being a night owl again. So, Dwayne, we'll have to send her the link to some of Diana Brianna. So, because I'm telling you what, Diana has some very funny videos out there. She point blank just says stuff. So, that would be pretty good for Heather to see and meet her, because if she does a live late at night, I know Heather would be comfortable going on her channel. But look, Diana talks as much as I do too. My daughter, Dwayne, Tiffany, has never been a good sleeper. Number one, because she always has nightmares. She inherited that from me. So she doesn't sleep good at night. It's like she don't like to go to sleep. And, you know, she's always been a night owl. And especially after she had her surgery. And she didn't realize it till about a day after she got home that she actually, the doctor actually told her that she died on the table, and it took 12 to bring her back, plus 6 units of blood. And it did something psychological to where she's afraid to go to sleep. So they called it something in the emergency room because she'd wake up in a full-blown panic attack and hyperventilating and all that I'd have to take her to the ER. So about the third time she went to the ER, they called it something. I wish I could find the paperwork on it. But they said if you've ever suffered a major event, like somebody has died in front of you, somebody has told you, or somebody said you were dead, and there was something else, and it fit right with how she is. But the way I look at it, God, can be in control. And Dwayne, I sent Dwayne the picture of Tiffany yesterday. It's much improvement, isn't it, Dwayne? It just seeing her, seeing that she's put on weight, seeing that her hair looks so pretty, and just knowing she's not on the streets, it has taken a weight off. Now I just want this beautiful, beautiful angel that's on the screen. I want my angel back, you guys. It's been very hard. Willow, let me put the link if anybody would like to come up here and just, even if you don't have your camera on, even if it's to say, Sonja, get your tail back up here. Your family needs you. Get your tail back, wake up, get your tail back up here. You're loved, you're needed. God's let me not worry about Tiff and put my prayers toward another. Dwayne, I don't know if you saw where Derek was on. Derek had surgery. He is 2 weeks post-op. They had to go in and take a tumor off his pancreas. So they took part of his pancreas. They took part of his spleen and something else. So, Derek, NASCAR man, you guys, he needs prayers too. Um, he lost a lot of weight, he said. So when he said pancreas, the pancreas, that just done something, because that's what my brother, when he went to the hospital, to a doctor, because he wasn't feeling well, he was already stage 4 pancreatic cancer. They told him to get his affairs in order, and he made it 3 months. So, not to be a downer, but this that I've been doing this week is, you guys, focusing on prayer, focusing on these people that are losing loved ones, focusing on the people that are sick, that they know we love them.
I know
You know,
I still need prayers. And if my girlfriend's family still needs prayers.
yep. We throw that word prayers around like it's nothing, but there's no better gift. There's no better energy, that you can send somebody than your prayers, and to let them know, hey, I'm thinking of you, and I miss you. I miss Tracy, but Tracy is in a lot of pain, you guys. It'll be November before they can get to her. And so you guys help me pray. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, honey. You guys help me pray that they get to her before November. It is, the pain she's in is just undescribable. There you go. And at my rheumatologist's office, it shows a pain scale, and it, showed where osteo, the pain, and then rheumatoid, and it goes all the way up to I think it's RSD is what Tracy has. And that is the most severe pain. So, ever since I read that, it really opened my eyes to what Tracy's going through. And, it's like missing part of me, because she's been up here with me so long. So, Rose, Crystal, you've been on here this week with me, I think, and you've seen that we've got we have the fundraiser going right now for Sonja. Yesterday, I'm updating. Yesterday was $130 given. So I thank everybody, for any donation that can, that anybody can do, or, just put in there, just leave a comment here and say, I'm thinking of you. Our prayers are with you. Our love is with you. That's enough, because her daughter is going to read that to her mom. And her mom squeezes her hand a little bit. So that tells you she hears what her daughter is saying to her, you guys. And when she was out of it one time, her daughter was playing my live, and Dwayne said something, and her daughter said, she whispered, "Who let you out of the corner, Dwayne?" So good and well that had to come from her. Exactly from her. And I was overjoyed, knowing she's still there. She is still there, you guys. So now, is that Sonja's direct PayPal, Willow?
That's the one from the bottom of the YouTube.
Okay. So yes,
And hello,
I got,
everybody.
I got the sweetest message yesterday from Joss, and she thanked everybody, and was thankful that we're taking the time this week to really focus on her mom and to get the prayers out there for her. Um, I want to. That's my Sonja on the screen, you guys. That's how I see her. Um, and that's the mom that Joss wants to see again.
Yeah.
And I can't even fathom and don't want to, what her daughter is having to see.
Her daughter and her other siblings and her dad want back.
But she's touched the hospital staff. For a doctor to tell her daughter that they've talked about her in the break room about pretty much is a miracle. That she is a miracle and fighting. They've never seen anybody fight to stay alive as much as Sonja has.
Yeah.
That's really saying something when you touch people like that with just being her.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried to fight to stay home. She fought to stay home until she just absolutely collapsed. And her daughter sent me a message, and I said, well, it's not the first time. We kept trying to get her to go back to the hospital, but she didn't want them to send her back to the mental hospital like they were doing. It was not mental. And these doctors kept the one she was going to kept trying to make it a mental thing. It was not a mental thing. So she did not want to go back to the hospital. And bless her heart, she was wasting away at home right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
And it took, she's so strong-willed, it took her to absolutely the ambulance to come and get her. Same way with Denise. Denise, if you're listening, I'm going to call you out on it. Same way with Denise. The same way with Denise. She was sick. I knew she was sick. After Alvin died, I told her she needed to go to the hospital. And her daughter was behind her, and she was stretched her eyes and was doing this, shaking her head. And I said, okay, your daughter hears me back there. Your mama needs to go to the hospital. And she still wouldn't go until she collapsed in the floor and the ambulance took her. And we almost lost Denise, you guys. We almost lost our Denise. She did code in the hospital at one point, and her daughter sent me a message and said, will all of you please pray for mama? It's very bad. And when she sent me that, you better bet. So everybody that has been here with me, that went through 2 years of every day, almost 3 years, almost every single day, Monday through Friday, doing this. Dwayne told me one time that I was CTD. I was given CTDs. Computer transmitted diseases is what he said I was doing to everybody. Dwayne, now I'm kind of wondering. But don't stop coming, you guys, because I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get back. Oh, Willow, are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing that Dwayne even came up with that.
Yes. When I was so sick one time, and Mama kept telling me, you need to get back online. And I was like, but I can't talk. Well, I'm just saying, So I would try to come on here and couldn't even breathe, couldn't hardly even speak. But Mama would tell me, you get going, you need to get back on. And now I have my daughter telling me that. So you guys, then I've had Dwayne message me, and I've had who yeah, I'm brain dead today, you guys. I'm really trying to. I'm struggling with stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
out of it today too. I had dozed off on the sofa,
my
and when I woke up, I was like, "Wait, it's almost noon. I need to go see if Norris is on." And went and
uh,
checked, and yeah, sure enough, you were. Sorry, I didn't get here as soon, but yeah,
Mona,
I'm kind of croaking like a frog today too. But
that, that's okay because I'm tired. Monique, Ben, thank you, Dwayne. I'm sitting here. Ben emailed me because I don't think he has Facebook. So Ben emailed me, and I
Facebook,
had he doesn't have Facebook, I don't think, but he emailed me.
Facebook, not
What did I
SafeBook.
did I say Facebook?
Yes, you did.
You see, I'm telling you guys.
Boy, we're a pair.
But yes, so it touched my heart because we were taking Tiffany back to rehab, and it's a 3.5 hour drive. And
Lord of mercy.
so I got a couple messages on through Messenger, and I read them. And then I told Kevin, I said, I teared up and I got crying. I said, I can't believe that, I have people asking me to come back. And Terry, Terry is one that told me, let us be here for you because you say we're your family. So why don't you come back and you lean on us? And that made me tear up.
I knew
He
you'd be back.
he
I didn't.
said,
I didn't contact you a bunch or press you or anything like that because everybody mourns in their own time. Everybody copes in their own time. But I knew you'd be back.
I just I didn't know, and Dwayne would say it like, pull up your big girl drawers and come back. I mean, he just puts it bluntly.
Hmm.
That's just Dwayne. You guys, I did hug Dwayne first. I sure did. I told Heather, I said, look, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna hug your husband first. And I gave him a big old bear hug. I did. I gave him a big
Well,
old
I know wifey Heather is asleep, but why isn't Dwayne up here?
Dwayne's working. He's at work.
Oh,
So yeah. Jocelyn tells she must be tired today, you guys. That was a lot for her to take in, getting all that message. And you guys, her mom must still be anemic. I know what somebody's skin looks like when they're highly anemic, and she did say her mom has that
pallor.
gray look. Yeah, that gray look, and she's very cold. So with her health things, they're having to slow things down. Things like the heart that will overwork, they really have to. Even though she's got they put the defibrillator,
Hmm.
so it shocks the rhythm.
Yeah.
It's not quite a pacemaker yet, but they do believe she'll have to have a pacemaker.
Well,
Okay,
she
that's
does. She does.
Chris. We know you're sneaky. I know you're sneaky. Even if sometimes you're both on Facebook. Let me look and see. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he pops in and says I'm sneaky on Facebook. But I'll go quite a while today again. And Willow, I asked Dwayne, how did I do yesterday? He said, what do you mean? I said, look, I could top my lipstick off, but yesterday I told him I couldn't find things to say. So
I
then
filled the gap.
but then sometimes you'll go down a rabbit hole. Somebody come in and they said, whoa, what did I just come into? Um, it all had to do with the little gold glitter hat that I seen Dwayne and that I sent him, and then
Yeah.
it kind of, we got down that little strain of things, but it's still about Sonja. Anybody that comes in and sees that I'm live, it gives a chance for me to explain to them. And today, Diana was talking about walking. She does her running every morning, but today on my little flip calendar, it's the truth is. This is one entitled, this little section. I am going to be let me start over. See, I don't edit nothing. So people are going to hear my crazy. I'm going to be a walking solution by God's grace. So to me, that was a pretty good one. Be a solution. Take charge. I didn't know to contact anybody and say, could you please do a benefit auction for Sonja? I don't.
Chris says, I am sneaky. I am on Facebook.
Yep, he sure did. Share that out, Chris, please, on your Facebook.
I
Share
haven't done
that
that
out.
yet either. Let me go back into
Well,
YouTube.
I'm going to go through afterward on Twitter and all of those places and share it out afterward. Some things I'll have to share out on my phone. If I knew how to use, what's that other app now? I've got it on my phone, the one I didn't like, but I'm going to go ahead and use it for good. Let me see. See, I don't even know the different TikTok. Yes, TikTok. Yes, I went ahead and signed up for that. I was on it one time, but the videos, my daughter is very good on TikTok, but the videos really got out there, and I had to stop looking at them.
I better get you some.
So anyway, I don't know how to do small, short videos. I'm going to have to try to do it and make it about Sonja. So I'm trying to use every avenue that I have. Monique said, "What's going on, Willow?" There's Terry. Terry, did you hear me talking about you? Terry, I told you.
I was just sharing it out on my Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to do that while I was in there. That's all, Monique. And the clacking sis is feeding the cats.
Oh. Terry, I told them how you sent me in Messenger to come back and I could lean on all of you because you're my family. And that touched my heart and it touched my soul. And so today, isn't she so beautiful? So beautiful up there. Her daughter sent me a picture of her. She found a picture of her when she was 17. And she's still the same beautiful. But oh my goodness, I found a picture of an actress. Casey says she looks like so-and-so. So I pulled up that picture and Sonja's or Casey sent them back, side to side. And I'm like, oh, wow. And she doesn't know her own worth. When you grow up in a home, a dysfunctional home, it goes with you sometimes for the rest of your life. If you don't have somebody come into your life at some point and let you know how special you are, you will never feel like you're doing the right thing. And one of the things she has fought so much for is to keep her children together and be a great mom. And she is a great mother. And it took each of us to keep telling her that over, and over, and let her know how special she is. Okay, Terry's been a mouse. That's okay. That's okay. Because there's some people, a lot of people will watch and they don't have an account, but they can watch and not chat. Sometimes they say that it's not my story to tell, but the story she shared with us, you guys, you would understand why each of us know how amazing, utterly amazing how she has raised her children. And, oh, thank you, Terry. See, her daughter, if she's watching this, she will tell her mom that Terry said. And I'll let you, Willow, ever so often throw that link out there. I don't know how to get this out to more people to where, oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was sharing it out on other channels that I visited throughout the day yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you. It's went up even more. And it's nothing I'm doing. I say it's by the grace of God that, he put, that he gives me strength to do this. He put this in my heart. My sister told me, she said, that's what you're supposed to do, Darlene. That is your calling. She said, but I don't have one. I said, yes, you do. You talk about the Lord, but no, you do things in a soft way. I just tell them, she said, I can't be like you. I can't put it the way you put things. I said, how do you put it? I just say it. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, no. I said, no, you couldn't do it that way. No, but she still has her way. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. I'm going to highlight that one too. And I can always go back and take every one of these and send them to Joss. I can copy and paste all of them to Jocelyn and encourage her. And I mean, there she is. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's almost 1:00 my time, but good morning. I heard you stayed up until 4:00 in the morning.
I actually had fallen asleep at a reasonable time at like somewhere between like 11 midnight, and my body woke up like an hour later and was like, oh, you took a nap. And then I was awake.
It happens. And hello, good morning, Heather.
Hello, Willow. Good morning to you.
Where's my girl? Okay, there she is. I got to.
Did you lose somebody?
I hit the wrong thing to refresh.
You did that yesterday too. Heather come in, you popped out, and we just sat here and laughed.
Oh my gosh, playing the hokey pokey. Where's my? I've done.
And here I'm going to bring up. I'm going to hurry quick. Mute it.
Crystal said, "Hey Heather."
Feedback. Hello, Crystal. So
and don't worry. When I came in, I forgot to mute the YouTube too. So
I'm getting her back. I'm getting Sonja back.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I hurry quick. Again,
we're like a bunch of movies today.
My hair, my hair is still kind of wet, but
Let me see if I can do this again.
But I think I remember deodorant. I know I brushed my teeth.
There's no smell-o-vision, dear. We're good.
Well, me and Denise came on, and I was like, I forgot to brush my teeth, and I went live right. She said, "Well, I did too." She said, "I forgot to take mine out and brush them," and I said, "We're live now." She said, "Well, they're store bought, and I'm not embarrassed." Let me get my. Okay, there it is.
Oh, so yesterday you were talking about your imaginary friend, and I was going to share my youngest son's story. So, his imaginary friend was named Steve, which is my brother's name, but he didn't meet my brother until he was probably around 10, is when my brother came back into my life. So I was, I was in my 30s, certainly. I'm trying to think of a more specific, narrow it down. I don't know, time goes by and your memory turns to mush.
Yep.
But so the way Jeremy would talk about this friend, people did think that Steve was real, especially when Steve got sick at school and barfed all over the classroom.
Oh my gosh.
But then after a while, he wasn't talking about Steve so much, and then he stopped, and I'm like, so we asked him, like, Jeremy, where's Steve? And he said, oh, he moved to Hawaii to be with another friend. And it was like, that's sad, but so funny when your imaginary friend leaves you to go be with another friend. And Steve never came back from Hawaii. So.
Well, at least your whole family went out there burying imaginary playmate.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have to bury him. We just, put him on a plane.
I had an imaginary friend growing up.
All right,
when I was very young.
Oh, good morning, Josie. Let me highlight when this pops up.
Okay.
NASCAR man's still in here because his name came up.
Hey, NASCAR man.
You guys came on earlier this morning. He lost some weight.
Esmeralda.
And he had a tumor on his pancreas, so he's surgery. He's had surgery. They removed part of his pancreas. They removed part of his lymph nodes. They've removed part of his, what else was it? Spleen. So, prayers for Derek.
Holy cow.
Yes. So.
I swear resellers are the biggest group of dysfunctional and ailing folk.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Your husband told me that I spread CTD, computer transmitted diseases. He told me that last year. That everybody gets sick because I'm spreading it. Josie, if you have a chance, or Hetty, if any of you want to come up here and, or you only have to turn on your camera if you want to come up and give Jocelyn some encouragement or a message to Sonja, that would be great, because that's kind of what I was really aiming for this to be. But I still, want to be able to give the children something. They started school. Bless their hearts. They started school. Their mom's not there. They got their granddad, but still.
Yeah.
They don't have mom. Mom was like, she did everything. She'd stay up all night with me and say, well, I got to get the kids up for school in about 30 minutes. And I'd be like, you stayed up all night. So she couldn't sleep. Josie, put on your red lipstick. That's all that matters. Good morning, Camille. Camille, if you want to come up here, because look, Camille does live. She does positive and tell you how to market yourself. And I watch her sometimes. Camille, I don't always comment, but yes, Camille is very, very a good motivator. I don't even know how I come across you, Camille. But yes, she's high energy. She's about like Diana. She's very high energy. Today, I think I think it's my fibro making me absolutely can't focus and think.
And well, I want to hear about Willow's imaginary friend.
You're right, Rosie.
She's muted. Did she
Yeah.
walk away from her microphone?
Yes. We're indoors sitting yesterday, and Willow sent me a private message to get up, walk around some. You're going to be hurting, and I'm going to tell you guys.
Well, did I tell you that I was trying a kickstart? It's actually, what do they call it? Oh, a jump start, an 8-day jump start.
For what?
Well, Utah is the capital of MLMs, and so I do believe I have tried this one before. But this is through Silver Hair Stacker's wife. Do you know who Silver Hair Stacker is?
No.
He's a reseller. And he and his wife were here in August up in Park City. We went up, spent an evening with them. And so then Dwayne and I signed up to do the jump start. And the way I remembered that I had tried a product before is how horrible it made me feel. I actually had taken two things. One was a supplement, one was a powder to put in a drink.
Oh, yeah.
And there was too much stimulants in it. And I wasn't sure if I was going to throw up, pass out, or die. I barf pretty easy. And so I was like, don't throw up. Because I was close.
Is it like a cleansing, a detox?
Probably a bit, yeah.
I'm putting Dwayne in the corner. Just saying.
And well, as long as you let him come out when it's bedtime. So anyway, today, and I don't have almond milk. I do drink protein drinks, but I'm out of almond milk, so I can't try this one. Like I said, this is all just
Karen bought us some almond milk, and she said it's good taste. Well, see, I took a sip, and I was like, "Oh, I don't think the consistency." But now, that's all I buy now.
And yeah, I don't drink regular milk. Well, I don't really. I drink the almond drink or drink the almond milk when I do a protein drink. I don't drink milk; makes me too phlegmy. But so Zing, can't do the Zing, so that Dwayne gets those. Can't do the Trim Stick. Like I said, these ones have the stimulant, so I'm taking these out right now of my little box. Gonna give them to Dwayne. Because he's a lot hardier than I am. My system is very sensitive. You know, when you have fibro, how everything has a chance of killing you, right?
Yep.
And so, but yeah, when I do, I'll remind Dwayne to, he probably has his motorcycle. We'll probably have to go, I'm gonna have to get wild and crazy and leave the house and go run errands. Or clean. My junk table is out of room to pile junk. You know, that's when it's time to do cleaning.
Yeah, not right now. So I've got this resting my hands on. So when I'm typing, whenever I type Sonja's name, it always wants to put put the H in the J place. So,
so there's choose to resist sugar. No, I didn't resist sugar for a long time. It was really nice. I even lost some weight, and then my sugar. Okay. Here's accelerate.
Good morning, Destiny. Good morning.
Morning, Destiny.
Look, I found out. Hey, Destiny. Dwayne, you said that you didn't ever get no prayer bottle. Prayer jar. Your wife still has it in her room.
Maybe it's that he wanted his own. Wonder. Well, it's 11. Maybe I'll take. And I didn't do my protein drink, so I'm going to take the Accelerate with my coffee, and we'll see how I feel. If this one makes me feel like I'm going to die. I know for some people, they lost, a lot of weight with doing this, which I'd like to do. And as I complain regularly about getting off my antipsychotics so I can lose weight, because I'm going to tell you something. This is just between me, you, and how many people do we have on YouTube?
But a few. We ain't got many.
What do we? Okay, between me, you, and the tens of people watching.
11 now.
I weigh 100 pounds more than Dwayne married me. I have been telling Dwayne that he is fat for 100 pounds. 100 pounds ago, I was telling him he was fat. So he and I've claimed that we have our own three-way with how much weight we've put on. We have more than we have our own three-way plus.
I know. Me and Keegan was at that point.
It's disgusting. It's horrifying. I have been rather disappointing in this lifetime, I tell you. Next one, I'm back on my game. This one, I don't know what happened. When it's, you know how when you hear if you were to go back to a certain point in life, what would you do? Different, where? I think I'd have to convince my mom to find another husband, really. I think that's what although I did inherit stuff from my father. Maybe she really would have been better off just getting rid of my dad, just altogether, not even changing up husbands. So maybe that was it. But I don't blame my problems on my father. Just don't know where I would have started doing it differently aside from conception.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be you if it wasn't that dad that half created you.
Yeah, and boy, did I learn. I learned life lessons from my father as to what I did not want. And for that, I am grateful, because even the husband I didn't stay with was still a better man than my father, because I knew I had to, that I didn't want to repeat history. So
awesome.
Way awesome. So
Rose, I'm down from 217 in April, and I'm like 192. So I've got just a few more pounds. I'll be in my 180s, and I haven't been in my 180s since I was working. And my mom, when I went to see her, she's like, "You sure have lost a lot of weight." Usually my mom's negative. But anyway, I wore the shirt. That I got from the one I tried on.
The shirt you got from Haley?
Yes.
Yeah, that was so cute on you.
And my mom said, "Well, baby, you're looking good."
Holy cow.
So, and it's a part of trying to be healthy. Like you said, so many people are sick. And my sister-in-law sit down with Kevin on the bed. She said, "I started this program," and she's lost about 50. She said, "I don't want to lose another family member." She said, "Kevin, we've got to get healthy, and I worry about you, and you're not healthy, and I can't lose you." And so she bought the program, $400 worth of stuff for him to start.
Oh, wow.
And it's hard for him because he gets nervous and he'll eat, and on weekends he gets bored. But
and I'm not a bored or nervous eater. I do like sugar. I'm not even an overeater, but like many people I know, my weight isn't due to an unhealthy relationship with food. It's due to other health issues and medication for other health issues.
Yes.
I even exercise. What was that, Willow?
I said, boy, don't I know it.
Yeah, I don't exercise like I used to because I'm not in my 20s anymore. But
my sister, she is 2 years older than me. So in October, I will be 57. You guys, I've been saying the whole year I'm 57. No joke. So when I hit 57, it's going to be, oh, well. So she is 59.
I did that on the 27-28 mark, Darlene.
So she
just jumped ahead, huh?
She's 59, and that girl still rides a bike, and she still walks. She loves the garden. And then my other sister walks. So
Yep,
my
I
older
walk.
sister said, "Do you exercise? Why don't you exercise?" I said, "The doctor, I can't walk, Irene. If I walk an hour, if I walk up the road and I pass out because my blood pressure bottoms out, who's going to find me?" I said, "I've got other issues
And
than just arthritis." I said, "It's different." I said, "When you have rheumatoid, it causes autoimmune disease. You don't know what you're going to get sick from."
yeah.
Oh, there's my California honey.
Yeah, I have autoimmune and I
Hey,
don't
I
have
threw on my
rheumatoid.
face quick.
Oh,
I have autoimmune.
I hear myself.
On my face quick.
All right.
Oh, you got to mute.
Hey,
Mute the YouTube, Josie.
Darlene, send me the message through Messenger. It works better.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Send me the other link.
All right. I sent Grayscale a message and told him that I asked prayer yesterday for him because Neville had that, he thought he was going to do it too, bypass thing, and it ended up doing a 4, and so I told Grayscale.
Quadruple.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? What am I printing? No, don't print.
If you don't know what you're doing, nobody else does.
I know. Okay, let me go this side. But yeah, I sent him a message because he's like Dwayne. He reminds me of Dwayne. Grayscale Tony. He has got that same sense of humor.
Dwayne does not have that same sense of humor with me.
I'm sorry.
No. Nope.
He gets it out on me.
Yes, I don't allow that.
Even if I go in the hospital, Heather, Dwayne's going to be one of the first ones to know because I'm going to take a picture in the hospital. All right,
that works.
Yeah.
No, Dwayne and I joke around and we can laugh about things, but I do not let him give me crap.
Oh, we send each other funny memes.
And that's good. Yeah, because I know he gives a lot of people.
Thank you,
he gives a lot of people crap, and I'm like, oh no, nope, he does not give me crap.
Thank you, Dawn. She shared the fundraiser on her Facebook. Thank you so much, Joe. This morning, I went ahead and shared on the Angel channel of yours.
Yeah, I seen it yesterday, actually.
Okay, thank you. But that beautiful face there, I miss her beautiful face, Josie. I'm ready for her to get back. I'm ready for her to get back.
I cannot recall. Did you ever say her age?
I thought she's 40. She's 44, and her daughter that's there with her is 24.
Wow.
So they're both young. And for, a 24-year-old to take over the finances, of her mom's and do things for her mom like that, and take care of the household and be sitting there with her. Hey, that's amazing. I think growing up at 24, it's like, bam, she went from I told her a young girl to a young woman. When you take on all that responsibility.
It's really sad that, a lot of this is due to the neglect of physicians. Like I said, if you go and have a chance and watch my video, because I just had surgery in June for a hernia that was 7 by 6 centimeters. It was huge. And it was a neglect of 2 doctors in physical therapy over 2.5 years. And
you tell me to hush, Dwayne.
And as soon as I had that surgery, the pain was gone. I would have soreness from the surgery, but the pain from the hernia was gone. And not only did I have the one, when they did the ultrasound, they found I had another hernia on the left side.
Well, Keevan's was in his stomach area, and of course, usually with most men, it will bulge because my dad had one.
Yeah, mine bulged really. It was huge.
Yeah,
It was obvious.
my dad's got the size of an orange when they finally did something to his.
Mhm.
Keevan, well, I said, Keevan, I know the doctor said unless he's going to pose in a magazine that he didn't have to worry about it. I just looked, but I remembered how my dad's did. Well, Keevan does very physical work. Well, it got where when he'd be lifting things, it hurt. I said, you're going to rupture that. Go
Yeah.
to another doctor. So he went to another doctor, and they set him up right away for surgery. And
Well, how I first got neglected, I went to my primary doctor, and his PA seen me, and she tried to tell me that women didn't get hernias in that area. And I'm a retired nurse. I said, yes, they do. So she ordered an ultrasound, ordered the wrong one. My primary doctor even admitted she ordered the wrong one. All they did is send me to physical therapy. And so to make a long story short, I pretty much explained some of it in my video, but the hernia was so large, the surgery went wonderful. I mean, I drove 3 days later. The area was so large that it filled up with fluid, and they removed fluid 3 times, but the third time I got an infection, ended up in the hospital again with antibiotics. And but this all was neglect of doctors.
it was preventable.
Yeah, and
That's
I was
right.
very blessed that it didn't rupture. It was
Well,
it was huge.
That's exactly what's happened with Sonja. I mean, by the time she got to the hospital where she's at now, every one of her lymph nodes was full of infection. They finally found out her bowels are ulcerated, her stomach's ulcerated. That's why she couldn't hold food down. And then with all the weight loss affect her heart and her
Yeah.
kidneys. So it's a little bit of everything. And the doctors were pretty much told her daughter that this really is unacceptable, because the doctors did not do what they should have done for her. All they would do would send her to a mental health hospital because they said it was a eating disorder. Isn't that
ridiculous.
awful? How does eating disorder get infection in your lungs? So she's got tubes everywhere in her lungs, in her intestines, a feeding tube down her nose. Bless her heart. I don't even want, like Denise says she pictures her. I don't want to picture her like that. I see that beautiful face looking back at me. That's what I have to.
She's too young to have to go through this. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's sad.
Whenever
Absolutely.
she would kind of wait, they'd bring her to try to wake her up some, so she could try to do some exercises on her own. She would tell her daughter, take me home. And she'd get so upset that they would have to put her under again.
Wow.
But when she does come to, she'll cry and want to go home. So I can't even imagine, Joe, if even me and my mom didn't have the great relationship, but I went to see her and was there 3 hours this week.
Wow.
And Denise said, well, how'd it go? I said, well, I was there 3 hours. If it didn't go good, I wouldn't have been there 3 hours. But
Darlene and I had a lot in common with their mothers.
Yes, but she is getting frail. It's she's really, really getting sick. And me and Keevan on my daughter's first visitation, which would be in October, she can come home. But her coming home, she has to bring a sponsor with her, because we just feel like she wants to see her mama one more time at least. because she feels like, my mom's not going to last much longer. So I was going to make it easier on us, drive 3 hours there, stay in a motel, visit with her that way. But I guess if I told my mom, I said, well, if we can get somebody to make one trip up there to get her and us come back, then we could take her home and come back, and it won't be 12 hours over the weekend with our car, if that makes sense. I mean, but my mom's very frail.
Oh, wow.
And, but she can't see good. And she brought out some of her lights. She found some driver's license. She said, she calls me Susie. Susie, I thought it was your driver's license. I couldn't figure why I had your driver's license. I didn't know we looked so much alike. I said, Mom, yes. Even the girls saw a picture of you and a picture of me. Yes, Mom, we do look just alike. And sometimes we act just alike. I said, but she said, well, that's okay. But my mom will say, well, I used to be pretty. I said, Mom, you're still beautiful. You're still beautiful.
How old is your mom now?
She's 82. Just turned 8. So her and Mama were the same age.
See, mine passed away 6 years ago, and she was 98.
And I really think sometimes it can get a certain age and mortality hits in a way, and you really start thinking of things. And, so Tiffany told me in a letter, you need to go see Mama, God forgives. And I call Mom, and then our oldest daughter, which is my stepdaughter, her mom's in the hospital with COVID. She's not in good health. And anyway, she said, Darlene, you need to go see your mama. When's the last time? I said, I call my mom. I'm okay in my heart with my mom. So when I went to see Mom, I said, Mom, Tiffany told me come see you make things right. Brandy said come see you make things right. And Mom looked so funny. I said, so look, I feel good in my heart. I love you. She said, well, I love you too. I said, well, something might be going to happen to me or you. But either way, we know we love each other.
Right.
I mean, and, when somebody has something on their heart to tell you, you've got to, if you get it from 2 different people, you really have to listen.
You need to, if I could tell just a little short story. When I was working as a nurse, and this one patient I was taking care of, when I walked in her room, she said, I'm so happy my family left. And I said, why? She says, I'm relieved. She says, I know I'm dying and I want to talk about it. And my family won't let me talk about it. She said, there's so much I have to say and get off my chest. And I just want them to know that I love them, but they won't let me talk about my impending death.
Yeah.
And I always remembered that, we need to listen.
Yeah.
We need to let people talk, even if sometimes if we don't want to face the truth.
I had a moment of that with my grandma. In fact, it was 10 years ago right now. But she and I had talked. I had been there. By the time I got home, Dwayne was like, you were gone for 12 hours. But I sat by my grandma's bedside and we talked about that she was ready to go. She was 93 and I had just turned 39. And I told her that I was, rather be 39 than 93. But she agreed that was, but anyway, yeah, she told me about what she wanted at the funeral. She changed up her casket, so my mom ended up calling the mortuary. But anyway, basically what she said was she was done worrying about everyone. And so we were going to have to worry about ourselves, which I know she's still worrying about us. She didn't stop. But, and 4 weeks to the day, she was gone. And so, yeah, I remember having that very conversation. And like I said, I just sat and listened to her. When I wanted to write notes, I found a Sharpie pen and a clothing catalog, which was such my grandma. Because I went through her jewelry and clothes. That woman, she had so much clothing. She would sneak off to Dillard's until we took her driver's license away. She had clothes with tags on them.
That's my mom. My mom still has brand new clothes. My sister used to send her, and my other sisters bought her. And she has sweatshirts with holes in them, and her like sweatpants that's old. But hey, that must feel good to her. So,
well, my mom doesn't know what's going on now. It's, my mom will have died. She's not, if she makes it through this year, she's not going to be making it, through the end of next year. But so basically, she will have died, a full decade before my grandma, age-wise. But even though my mom, she's just in a nightgown in the care center now, but she knew she didn't like dark wash jeans. And so she had her specific jeans that she liked, so her husband would find them online for her. But yeah, she couldn't even tell you what your name was, but she knew she didn't like dark wash jeans.
That's a woman for you.
Yep. And one time when we went to go see her, and she was wearing it looked like it was kind of fuzzy, fleecy, looked really cuddly, warm sweatshirt. And my stepfather said he got it for her from Walmart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'll refer to her, our mother, as she was as our real mom. If real mom knew that she was wearing Walmart, which I'm wearing Walmart right now, but if my mother knew she was wearing Walmart, yeah, that would have killed her right there. She lost her marbles. So, yeah.
My mom called me one day and she said, I need to talk to you. She said, Irene just left, and I thought, oh boy. So I called my first. She left me a message, call her, and I called my sister first. What happened? What happened at the house? Mom wants me to call her, and she's mad at you. What happened? She said, well, she started talking about when she dies. So I didn't want to hear it. So I said, okay. So I called Mom. She said, well, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you what I want done. I said, well, okay, Mom, I'll come down there. You tell me what you want done, and I'll write it down. And, I tried to tell her people are not doing the burials and stuff like they did. Hey, April, do you want to come up? I'll put the link down.
Hello, April.
But
I'm actually messaging April at this very moment.
I said, Mom, I said, you don't understand what's going on out here now. They really don't want a crowd inside of the funeral home because of people getting sick. So they are doing it more outside, and they are doing it that way.
Yeah.
And Mom is just so old fashioned about it. She can't comprehend what it's, because she don't get out of the house. So, but I will take whatever she says and write it down, but it will be me and my two sisters when the time comes.
That's, my mom wouldn't talk about it, and now she's dying and we got nothing. My grandma said exactly what she wanted.
Yeah.
And then my mother would never talk about it, so we're just gonna have to make something up. I don't even know if she has a whole lot of hey, NASCAR man, I don't even know if she has a whole lot of life insurance.
Well, do you know?
And I don't mean to leave to us, I mean to get her in the ground,
Mama
expensive.
Mama had everything ready, but do you know that woman would not spend any money of the CD that her daddy left her? She wouldn't spend it because she said, I just worry about all of y'all when I'm gone. I worry if y'all gonna be able to pay, what I'm paying now. I said, Francis, Mama, stop worrying about us. when you're gone. I said, use that money if you want to use it. Don't think about it, you know. And she could have went to the UK one time. There was some people there when she was able, you know. I said, take some of that money and go. Or she had a friend or best friend from like elementary all the way through school that lived in Louisiana. Why don't you go? Nope. She wanted that money to stay in the bank so she'd have something to leave her kids. That's all that woman thought about. She never wanted anything for herself. So, um, you know, and for you guys all out there to turn it all around, all moms aren't difficult. And because of what Sonja went through, and Josie can understand, because of what Sonja went through, she is an amazing mother. Such an amazing mom. You can either go one way or the other. You can either be just like your mom said, oh, well, that's how I was raised, or you can strive to be a better mother, you know, a better, and I don't want to, you know, be down on my mom this morning because I am fine with her, but you have to make up your mind, you know, your life is your own. You can't,
So true.
you
Yeah.
cannot keep blaming your problems on how your family was.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have your own family.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. You know,
can
when,
change.
when you are in your 20s and you get out into the world and you're trying to figure things out, and if there are things that you weren't prepared for because your childhood was so outrageously dysfunctional, then it's like, gee, thanks, guys. But that means it's your opportunity to learn and figure it out for yourself.
well, it's sort of like with Jocelyn. She said, I can't believe there's things I didn't know about Mama until I started watching your lives, the ones that had Mama in them. I think Monique sent her one where Mama was laughing and carrying on in one of them. And then she started watching them so that way she could see her mom laugh and see the things her mom talked about. She said, how did I not see that part of my mom? I said, babe, because you moved out, you grew up, you're in your 20s. We don't really get to know who our mom is until we get older. I said, so I'm glad you're getting to see that part of your mom. I said, I'm glad because I said, yes. And she's loved by everybody on here. And, I told her, I said, well, God turns things around sometimes. And I said, you are getting to see the other part of her amazing personality. And, I wish I could have come to that part of when I was in my early 20s.
You know, so my dad did leave when I was 16. And I've always considered that as the best thing he ever did for me. So he just got up, walked out. I don't even remember he left. I was just happy he was gone.
Well,
So I was the last one at home, being the youngest. And I'm the only one who got to know my mother without the stress of our dad around.
Yeah.
And without having to be mom of 4 children, never stopped being a mom, but, trying to raise. Because my mom worked 2 jobs and raised 4 kids. I have no idea how she did it.
Like Sonja's done.
And
you find a way.
And she put up with our father for reasons that I'll never fully understand. I don't think she fully understood it after either. But a good chunk of it was trying to be a good Christian woman.
Yes.
But yeah, so I did get to know her in, like I said, on a level that my siblings never did see. And I'll always be grateful for that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one time my nanny had a cedar chest, and of course, it stayed with my 2 uncles until they passed. And then, of course, Mom went ahead and got it. But he had letters in there. And I'd go see my uncle with my 2 kids, and they'd go watch cartoons because one of my uncles had emphysema so bad he couldn't really leave his room. And that was, he was like another dad. I was so close to him. Well, I could sit there and read through letters, and I got to reading through letters Mom wrote from California to my grandmother out here. And I remember one, she um she had all of us 2 years apart. So, well, the first two was 3 years. The last two was 3 years apart. But she had 6 kids by the time she was 30.
Crazy.
And her mom was across the country, and she was saying, "Well, I was washed the curtains, I cooked supper, Sandra's in the high chair, I got Darlene on my boob, and I just saw my mom, this skinny, tiny woman, feeding one, another in a high chair, her cleaning house like she did, and her missing her mom." Because my grandmother was a big part of me, but also that, her and my mom, her and me and mom was very close. So I saw a different part of my mom, of what it was like to be separated like that. And in my heart, I kept that with me, that I had to
That's
start
great.
seeing my mom that way instead of seeing her with the way she was, some of the things she would say to me.
Um,
Well,
you
and
know,
that is one thing Sonja has said before online. So she grew up in the system, as she called it. And she said she never wanted her children to grow up in the system. She had one very good place she lived. The woman, she was the only girl, and the woman was very, very good to her. So that influenced her. But still, that's why she would do whatever it takes to be with her kids. And that's what her inward fighting is now.
yep, absolutely.
Marlene, have we had any response to donations for?
It went up earlier by I think $50. Sure did. Right now, let me refresh. Right now, it's at 180, and I just did it. Started yesterday. It's at
Yeah.
180, but I've already somebody sent me some Monday or Tuesday when I was talking about. They sent it directly to my PayPal, and I sent it on to Joss. So there's $100. So really, $280 so far, and it's amazing. And it was hard for her daughter to put into words. She said how grateful and how much she feels loved by us doing this.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yep, that's real good.
Yeah, see, no, Rosie, I mean, Crystal, I've seen you with your son. You're amazing. You are amazing. So, you're the example of how you rise above. And that's why I said at this point in my mom's life, I think she's remembering things. And she said, well, I sit down here by myself sometimes and think, nobody's here. Nobody loves me. And, it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back. And I have told her before when she was ugly to me, I said, you hurt my feelings, and you're missing out on me, Mom. I said, Mom, I'm a good person. You're missing out on me.
Mm-hmm.
You could have me down there with you and have all my love. And it took me, you guys, this was just a couple years I told her this. I said, no. I said, you hurt my feelings. You say things ugly to me, and that's why you make me have to hang up on you. She said, well, what did I say? I said, Mom, you know what you said. So it took me forever before I could say, Mom, you hurt my feelings. Just tell her. So I do know that she has missed me. And my sister in Florida, she wouldn't even really say her name yesterday. I mean, when I went to see her, she kept going all the way around, and I'd say Sandra. And it was like she wouldn't want to say that sister's name And finally, we was talking about who looked like who, and she said, well, Sandra looks like your daddy. She looks more like on your daddy's side. And she said, but you and Ronnie, which was the brother that died of pancreatic cancer, and Aubrey, which was my older brother, he died at 34 tragically. She said, I didn't realize y'all look just like me. I said, yeah. I said, we do. And I said, Mom, you've always been beautiful. So that I'll take that. But, there comes a time that I told her one time, she said, well, I don't know what to do. I don't want to be put in a home. And I had told her, I said, well, Mom, I'll clean out this room. And I said, even if I have to go between your room, this room, and Mama's room, neither one of you are going to end up in a home. So as Mom's getting sicker, I even thought of it when I was there. And no matter what she said, yes, I would still be by my mom's side and do for her like I did Frances. Because I do love her. And when it comes down to it, whether they're like my mom with some of the things she can say, or wonderful like Sonja, we sit by, or like Mama, me sitting at the hospital with her. We do it out of respect, and we do it out of love. And doctors, one of the doctors thought I was Frances's daughter. I said, oh no, she only has one daughter. I'm married to her son, but she's still my mom. And she rubbed my shoulder. She said, thank you. She said, that's wonderful. I said, why would you say that? She said, because we have all these people up here that don't even have family to call and check on them. And your family, you're keeping everybody through FaceTime, and you're doing all this, and you're here. And she's not your mom. I said, but she is my mom. And everybody started calling her Mama. On 2 floors. They kept, if she got real bad, they sent her to the top floor. When she got stabilized, they put her back. Everybody knew her as Mama. Everybody knew that we were family, and a strong family. And that's exactly what I didn't do it but 10 days. And it was hard. But Joss has been there 6 months. 6 months. I can't even fathom.
Yeah, my mom's been in care center for 6 months. I've only seen her once. I couldn't go at first because I had COVID, and then I had to wait till I got my shot. And she's an hour and a half away, and I've gone once. It is so hard my stepfather is there with her, but it's so hard to know what it's like. Am I going to have regret? I don't feel like I'm going to have regret. Or, I don't plan on torturing myself with regret of my mother isn't conscious all the time. She has no idea who I am. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like, so I go drive an hour and a half, sit there with my stepfather for an hour, drive home an hour and a half. And have an icky feeling. I don't know if she knew who I was, it would be different.
Yeah. Or she doesn't know that you're there.
Yeah,
it's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, like if she doesn't even know I'm in the room, it's not even that she doesn't know who I am. She doesn't even know I'm there. And it's like, well, and then of course right now it's like, well, then am I just bringing germs in,
Yeah.
I don't know and that's what, I've talked with my siblings. My sister has a daughter in the same town, and my sister will go stay with her daughter and go spend time with our mom, because my sister's even further away. Mm-hmm. And she's down in southern Utah. But I don't know. And my sister's the one who keeps in touch with our stepfather. He's a good person. He says and believes some things that are kind of out there at this point in his life, and it's hard to know what to do or say at times. Sometimes it's really hard to be patient. But
Is he in denial?
He finally, my sister said that he has finally accepted that she is not going to be going back home. Because at first he's like, we're going to get her up and moving. She's had a stroke on top of the dementia. I don't even know for sure if it's Alzheimer's. This was something that was never fully communicated. There was no discussion. In fact, my oldest sister and I tried to address my mother and her husband on a few different occasions, only to have them either denial, just flat out deny it, or our stepfather get upset that we were saying that about our mom, when it was clearly that the woman in front of us was no longer our mother. And so that is part of that's kind of that really falls in line with our dysfunction, our brand of dysfunction in my family. Is, why communicate and make things easier on ourselves and each other, and when we can just be.
I have a hard time with denial. That's why I know some people take me as very blunt, and as Darlene said, if you want to ask me a question, you're going to get an honest answer. I've seen in my nursing career and in my own life so many people go into denial, and denial causes so much problems
and so much pain.
And
it doesn't pay off.
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you what the doctor told me when my daughter was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. He said, live each day like it's her last day. And I'll tell you, I've always remembered that doctor. He passed away many years ago, but that was the most wonderful thing he could have told me, because when she died, and I still feel the loss, but I never had any regrets, I did everything possible. Like the doctor said, if she doesn't want what you cooked, fix her a milkshake, anything she wants, just live each day like it's the last. And it's the best advice I can give to anyone.
Well, we don't know. Every morning when me and Kevin do prayer, it's something he started, and I'm glad. I mean, I always prayed for my family, but we pray at bedtime before he goes to sleep, and we pray before he walks out the back door now. And one day I had to get him to pray for me because my head hurt so bad. But, we're not promised.
Nope.
And I thank God, you kept us safe last night, be with him. And when at night I said, thank you, Lord, for bringing him home to me. He's
got that rough commute, I know.
He works at right across the street, Josie. We live on a dead end
really?
road.
Oh my gosh.
He drives his Jeep to work.
Oh my gosh.
To cross the street.
He used to have 4-wheeler, and he sold it, and he'd drive the 4-wheeler over there, and everybody'd laugh at him because he wouldn't walk across the street.
It's got a long commute. Yeah. But denial is something that, and it hurts families, because families end up fighting each other, because say if there's no chance of survival and one member thinks that, they don't want the plug pulled, in other words, and it causes problems. I already told my son, if the doctors and him decide there's no hope, you better not be alive, because I'll come back and haunt you.
Yeah. Oh, watching my mother go. Now, nothing's keeping her alive except for that her spirit won't go for some reason.
Yeah.
When I did see her, I'm like, has grandma come to see you? Has your grandpa come to see you? Who's visiting, Mom? And we did that same thing with my grandma. We're like, is your dad here? Because you can go with him. But no, it's absolutely, that is my greatest fear, is living past quality of life. That is just, and I think for most people, being dead isn't doesn't scare me. It's getting there.
Yeah, I said that when I was 20 years old. I'm not afraid of dying. It's how I die that I fear.
Yep.
And,
Well, because
and
it's something we got to do. We go on by ourselves. You know, Kevin can't go with me. I mean, basically, we could if we were in.
so one thing we do alone. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the same time, I have very strong belief that I know your loved ones that are on the other side are there. They're waiting for you.
Oh, yes.
And I know that they celebrate. You know, that was something for my grandma. Like I said, she was 93. And she had one brother left. Everybody else was gone, including her first husband, her second husband that we called Grandpa, one of her sons. And I know they were so happy to have her back with them.
Yep.
And the hospice, we talked with the hospice nurse and the CNA, and they said that especially in religious people, you know, for people who have strong faith in the afterlife, that they often do start talking to people on the other side who are there waiting for them. And
I've witnessed some of that. And
I bet you have.
There was one lady who was a complete stroke patient for many years. She had to be fed, turned, and I took care of her during the day shift, but she died on the night shift. And this lady could not move any part of her body. And just before she passed away, she sat up. You explain that to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it pretty
absolutely.
much freaked the nurse out that was on duty. But
I bet.
And then before my daughter passed away, she talked about angels, and she kept asking them, can she still set the Christmas tree? Because she died on December 11th, and my husband went out and got the tree, but it was damp. We lived in Idaho and there was snow, and he put it on the porch, and we were going to set it the next night. And that's what she kept asking the angels, can I still set the Christmas tree?
You know, I don't believe. I mean, we do have to do it alone.
Oh yeah, it is your personal journey is what it is.
I tell people,
it is.
If you are right in your heart and you have Christ in your heart, you're really not going to have to take that journey by yourself.
No, you're right. You're correct.
You know, you're going to have somebody, and if it's a loved one that's making that with you, I do believe we're going to see our loved ones there. It's not a scary thing to do.
I think your guardian angel is there too.
Yep. I believe.
And you know, your family, your guardian angel.
Well, you know what? Willow's brakes went out. You know, and anything could happen. Well, there was a person that robbed a store. This young boy stole a vehicle, robbed a store. I was just coming up our highway up here, and this car came flying around right at the red light, and it turned one way, and I grasped because I knew it was going to hit me. But it fishtailed again and didn't touch me. And then there was like 5 cop cars. He got down the road and flipped, and he hit one car, another car, then that car flipped. I got home. I come in the house and bust out crying to Kevin. You know, he's like, what happened? I said, I was almost hit. And, you know, I still believe it was by divine intervention that vehicle didn't hit me in any way.
Yep.
So I do believe that we have somebody watching over us.
Yeah.
I do believe all of the things that Sonja has said and her daughter has told us in chats from when she was able to talk about things, about her getting near the beginning of it, she said, no, you are not my God. You are not my God. And then she starts talking about picking up her sword and her shield and started saying these things. And her daughter didn't understand what she was talking about. Me, I rejoiced. I said, girl, your mama is fighting a battle that we can't see. It's on a whole different spectrum. I said, it's amazing. Then she'd say, what does this mean? About pruning a tree and something else. And I said, girl, and I told her I'd bring up the scriptures. I said, your mama is living within what things in the Bible it says. And she's fighting. She's fighting for her life. She's letting the devil know, hey, you are not bringing me down. And the battle, the strength that on that other side that she has is so amazing.
Can you imagine the story she'll be able to tell when she really comes back?
And I said, I'll go down. I told the girls, I said, I will go through. I think on the computer I can do it better. I'll go through and copy and paste this journey, because if she don't remember it, or it can be there for her children, because I know it. I pray I want to see this girl again. But either way, whether and I had to pray after I cried in Walmart the other morning. I prayed and talked to God about it all through Walmart. And I said, well, you'll either have her or you'll keep her with us. And God, I'm selfish. I'm selfish. I know I'm doing a selfish prayer. I want to see her again. I want her back. But either way, she's going to be restored. So it's just amazing the things, and we hadn't really shared them on, because I haven't been on. Some days it's been me and her daughter all day, chatting back and forth all day. And I said, well, Lord, she needs me much more than me sitting in here in front of the computer, because that's still your work. So, there'd be sometimes Denise couldn't get me on the phone or something. I said, well, because I've been talking to Joss all day. And that's what he meant for me to do. And that's why I want to do this. That young woman, I wish I could meet her. Australia's a long way, so far, and we can't touch her. We can't hug her. We can't. That's why I tell her, I said, play this message for your mom, and then please kiss her on her forehead. Tell her I love her. Be the one to physically touch her hand or something, because I can't. We can't.
On the other, kind of going the other way, my sister and I were talking about that she had talked to someone at her that, she goes to church with, about, she's like, is it wrong for me to pray for my mom to die? And she's like, it's not for me, it's for her. And the lady said, no, it's not. That's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
We had that discussion, and I did tell Jocelyn, I said, Karen, when Mama had to have, when she was basically bleeding out, and they, from gastrointestinal bleeding, and they did a scope down her throat, and they did the other scope. Karen, they called back up there, and they said, we didn't get her released to do this, which they did when she first went in, but they asked Karen, do you give your, permission to do this? And Karen said, yes. Well, when Mama come back in the room and she was, they couldn't resuscitate her from doing that procedure, there was part of Karen that blamed herself. And I said, nope, don't you do that. Don't you do that. And I had to remind her again, when me and her both were still in our grieving process, I told her, no, don't you feel like it's your fault. They had to finally try to do something. Me and her went through, and I think we're closer now. We went through something that Kevin and his brother would never understand, that because they weren't physically there, and maybe they wouldn't have been able to handle it. But after that happened with Mama, I didn't realize Mama had me on her checking account, I didn't realize some things. I thought Mama thought of me as a daughter-in-law, and I struggled with that. And Karen, they included me in everything, and that surprised me. And you guys, them working together, because a lot of families, when money's involved, you know how it can be. And I had all these horror stories told to me. You know, they're going to take the house from y'all. They're going to do this and this. You just don't and so it put thoughts in my head. The grace that those three siblings, and they included me as one of the siblings, the way they handled everything, it was something that it came from Mama.
That's great.
The love and the way they handled everything. And Karen said, no, why would you think that you were just a daughter-in-law? Don't you realize you are our sister? And even when they were picking out the little things, the announcement things, they were looking. One said hands, and they said Mama loved praying hands. The other one said, well, she loved footprints in the sand. And then out of nowhere, it just come out of my mouth, a dove. And the guy said, oh yeah, we have a dove in there. And I was like, where did that come from? Mama, don't be doing that to me. You know, and that was,
They do that
that
though.
is what,
Wow.
that right there is what they had.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
No, I swear, so many people have so many stories of whether they're preparing a talk for the funeral or in trying to make decisions that they're not sure, and then they just receive a message or a feeling that it just is right. And you got to be open though. You know, you have to be willing to be open to receiving the message.
Well, yeah, and I told Karen, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said this. She said, "No, that's perfect. I don't know why we didn't think of that." But you know, I would not take nothing for those days that I was with her. I mean, we lived here. I was with her every day, and I loved that. But for some reason, God had me right there for those last days, and it takes a lot of strength to be with somebody like that every day. And that's why I tell Joss that she's amazing. She is her mother's child. She thought her other sibling was the strong one. I said, well, she is too. But you don't realize how strong you are. And she's like Sonja. We have to remind her of how strong she is. And Monique tells me, she said, well, you're the same way. Because I didn't know how I'd be able to come on here with, you know, the ones that's usually up here with me, and they're all battling, you know, their sickness and illness. And I just had to come up here as a leap of faith and try to do this. And how do I do this again and keeping my channel the same? Can I keep doing this? Am I able? And I had this struggle back and forth. I talked to God, well, God, how can I keep doing this? I can't do this by myself. I miss my girls. But this morning I was hurting and got that message from Joss. I said, okay, I got it. Get up. I'm still in my pajama bottoms, Joe.
So I have my pajama bottoms on too.
I put a shirt on.
I threw makeup on really quick.
I did mine really quick and pulled my hair up because I haven't washed it. So I'm like, I'm going to go in there.
Well, you're needed, darling. Do you know that?
Thank you.
And no matter, it's kind of like, there was a couple people asked me that if I was in so much pain for 2.5 years, how did I, do auctions and YouTube? I said, because I faked it and I never complained, and no one really knew that I was in pain. I guess I'm a strong old ornery woman. But It was so wonderful when that pain, no matter how many aches and pains I have, that hernia pain is gone, and I feel so blessed.
That's
But
great.
you can't imagine.
Well, Willow
That's
messaged
really
me
good.
yesterday. She messaged me on Facebook, even while she was on panel. She said, "You need to get up and you need to move."
Yeah, you
And I
do.
told Kevin last night, I said, and it was just 2 hours yesterday. And, oh, that's Mama.
Oh man,
I'll call you back. All right, I love you. But I told Kevin, I said, sitting in front of the computer, I did it 2 hours, and I said, "Oh my gosh, Kevin," I said, that just lets me know that there's no way that I would be able to still work, even though that judge treated me like I was just lazy and was trying to get something for nothing. And then if people come on here and they see me sometimes, and one guy will say, "Well, you don't look like you're 56." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And I know it does give me strength when I get on here and interact with everybody. It does give me that strength. But I told Kevin, I said, I wouldn't be able, I said, after this, I would wouldn't be able to work the next day, or wake up in so much pain that by the time I'd get to the car, I'd be throwing up. I'd be in that much pain. So, but people see you sometimes on this part, they don't understand what you're battling through.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I haven't worked full time in years and years and years, because let's see. But
teared up when he showed me what. Did you guys see what he got from April when you guys were there, Heather?
And what are we talking about?
Was you there when April gave Casey that gift?
I wasn't I? Yeah.
It was black and red. She found something, Joe, and Casey said,
"Oh, okay, yes, now I remember."
Yeah,
that trip was such a whirlwind that
Casey was showing me things that was somebody sent him a geisha doll, and there was different things, but he said, "Mama, there was something that made me tear up." April found this, a shirt. It's a long shirt, but it's black and red, which matches his room, but it's got a dove. I've
seen the picture of it.
Oh,
yeah.
did you? I'm like, that just, like April said, she was just led to it. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Heather.
Oh, no, you're fine. But
I'm telling you, the wheel is just gone today. The hamster's hiding in the corner.
Hamster's on hiatus. And I'm sure there are people who wonder why I don't work. But between, physical and emotional, if I tried to work plus keep up with taking care of my home and my youngest, he's high functioning, but he's still on the spectrum. And if he didn't have me watching over him, that I tell the kid to bathe. I call him a kid. When I was his age, I was married with a kid. But those little things. In fact, I figured a long time ago that, because before Dwayne and I got married, I had my oldest son when we met. And before we got married, I told him, I said, I'm not going to keep working full time. If I'm going to get married and have more kids, because I'm already a full-time working mom and I don't want to just keep adding kids. And I didn't have a career path going either. But Dwayne agreed that, because like I told you, my mom worked 2 jobs. So my sisters raised me and they took good care of me, but it wasn't fair to anyone. And I'm not one to use the word fair very often because I know life isn't fair, but that's not ideal. And for everyone involved. And so I didn't want to repeat that, because I could have ended up having my oldest son take care of his younger siblings. And I didn't want to do that. And Dwayne agreed. So then God heard that I wanted to be at home, so he sent me an autistic son. And I know that because, yeah, autistic children are a lot to handle. And I had a friend tell me one time, she said, God sent you Jeremy because you're the only person who could handle him.
Well,
And,
and
We
that,
do get tested sometimes.
oh,
and
constantly. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Joss will say that because she is on spectrum, and two of the other children are on the spectrum. Out of the four, one of them isn't, but the others are.
Yeah, Sonja and I
Um,
talked about.
yeah. The oldest Joss is high functioning, and she's amazing. I mean, I don't see how she remembers what the doctor's telling her, the interaction that she's having with the specialist, going in there where all of them sitting around to do a game plan. And so she is more amazing than what I think she ever felt, because she was picked on in school. And she did mention that yesterday and shared it. So I know I can talk about it, David. She was really tormented in school. So she
That's
felt
real
inadequate.
sad.
But uh, Jacob, he's so much, and then the other one is so much, and couldn't comprehend why her mama wasn't there for her birthday, and she cried and cried because her mama was not home for the birthday. So that's another thing. Sonja had to be home with the kids, and
Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
she and I had a big old conversation about that one time,
Yeah.
about our similarities because of that. And
Dwayne, I would keep you in check. I would message you all during the day and tell you need to behave, or but
and well,
yeah.
it was because my birthday was just a few days ago, and last year I called my mom and said, Mom, I want, it's my birthday. I just want, because the year before she had forgot, and then she called me a few days later and she was really embarrassed. And so I didn't, and you never know when people start losing it. So I didn't want that to happen again. So I went ahead and called her and was like, it's my birthday today, Mom. So, I called so you can tell me happy birthday. And she did. But this year, like I said, there's just nothing. And it is a weird feeling of, because clothes, that was, my sisters and I are not as high maintenance as our mother was. And our grandmother was fairly high maintenance. My mother, she didn't leave the house till she looked like a model.
My oldest sister has always been high maintenance. She would go to Merle Norman's to get her makeup. She went to high end, when she's got a job, high end places to get her clothes and everything.
Yeah, that was my mom and grandma.
And my other sister is very thrifty. You would think when she goes on her cruises, I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks like Princess Diana in that dress. She'll say, oh, $2.99 at the thrift store. When she would go on a cruise, she would go and find. I said, "Why do you find stuff like that?" But then again, I don't go nowhere to wear stuff like that.
Yeah, same. Well, so all through school, and I remember the last time it happened, I was 17. Getting ready for school, and there's this knock at the door. Actually, probably around that age, knocking at the door, and my mom is like, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, what are you gonna wear today? And I'm like, I don't know. And she said, well, open your door. And I opened the door, and there was a full outfit.
Oh,
and she did that for me because my birthday being second week of school, throughout all of school, that was my birthday morning, would be, what are you wearing to school today? And so that was just one of those little things that you just grateful for the memories. And even if it is just a funny little thing, I told my kids all the time, because my mom was much more stoic than I am, and I I'm also very blunt. And so when my kids will share stories about how blunt I was when they were young, and they'd be like, your mom was mean. And they're like, no, she just would just said it like she saw it. And, and I've told my kids, I'm like, do you know what you're going to miss if they think I'm being a dork? And I'm like, you're going to miss this when I'm gone. Especially when they're teenagers. And it was like, oh, mother. Because, teenagers, they don't even want to claim to have parents.
Oh, no. I can already see it in my grandkids becoming teenagers. It's like, you're old, Grandma.
My oldest sister, her oldest granddaughter is 15. And so my sister's just like, oh boy, here we go. But that was something I had asked my daughter was if I had I never wanted to repress my children from figuring out who they were. I think my generation, we were still raised by parents who wanted to tell us who we were. And that didn't get any of us anywhere. And so I knew I wasn't going to raise my kids like that. And so I always encouraged them, to figure out who they were and their self-expression. And so I had asked Natalie, my only daughter, if, did I do things to stifle them? Because of trying not to. And then I said, what about like how you dressed? Because being raised in the religion I was, some people get a little fanatical.
Good morning, Joel.
But so I had asked.
Joel's in Australia. He's not sleeping until 14.
And I asked her, I'm like, was I basically kind of weird about how you dressed? And she's like, no, you were, that I was more open, freer for letting her choose her outfits than I was my boys until my oldest got to be a teenager. And then he turned into a clothes horse. But I would look at my kids and say, you guys look like you're homeless and no one loves you. Go back and change. But I was more that way with my boys than my daughter. And that's one of the things that she has shared is that I tell my kids that they looked homeless and to go change their clothes. And they're like, that's so mean. And she's like, no, that's just my mom.
Well, see, that was one thing. My mother couldn't control me, even that generation, because I'm old.
It never did work. I don't know why.
She couldn't tell me who I was going to be. No. I worked all my life to be different than her. So that was one of the big obstacles between our relationship. Hey, Casey.
That's something I think my mom did want her daughters to be. Hey,
ladies.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm tired. I'm at work.
Quick break. But
Willow, I did do the bathroom walk. I just want to let you know. I did.
Oh, good. But yeah, I think my mom did want us, her daughters, 3 daughters, to be more like her than what we were. Now, here's the funny thing, is my daughter is a lot like me. She's more like me than I am my mother. And that was something I never, sought out for her to be, just wanted her to be her. And the day that something came out of her mouth that was rude, and I was like, oh, it was very blunt. And I was like, oh my gosh, my daughter sounds just like me. Oh no. And so then I asked friends and family, I'm like, does Natalie sound like me? And everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't anyone tell me? And everyone's like, you didn't know? I'm like, no.
When my hair was still blonde, there was this look that Casey's got that looks just, he looks just like his dad.
Yeah, he does.
There is a look that we can do our eyebrows, and me and him would put face to face and do that look at work, and everybody would be, Oh my gosh. But, when you look at Casey and you look at his sister Brandy, it's like, who was it? Was it you or Dwayne that thought they were the same age? Because they look so much alike. But Casey still has that look on him where he does an eyebrow thing.
Very facially expressive.
Well, when I had my eyebrows on, Josie, he called me out in front of Dwayne and Heather.
Oh, really?
I turned and looked at him. He said, "Oh, Mom, where's her eyebrows? She's looking like some Whoopi Goldberg."
I do remember that one. Yeah, you can't be a sensitive person be around Casey.
I had been cooking Brunswick stew for 2 days. Excuse me, I was tired and I'd been sick.
We were not worried about it one bit.
Darlene, you mean Casey's as blunt as I am and calls it like it is?
I cut my hair one time, my bangs, and Brandy had done hers horrible. Our daughter, Casey, come in there, and I was in the kitchen at that time. He goes, "What is with the women in our family? What did you do? Your bangs are awful." And Tracy done told me, "What did you do?" So yeah, Tracy done told me too. I said, "Look."
I was the one who was the most blunt with my mother because I was the only one who could get away with it. And we really had to placate my mother in many ways growing up, unfortunately.
This is what I'll do. I'll ask Tiffany. Tiffany, does this look okay on me? And you know that shirt was very, very, the one I got from Heather. Not Heather. Haley.
April.
Yeah, from Haley was very fitting. And so I used to ask Tiffany, "Does this look okay?" "Yeah, Mama, you look fine." Then I'd go in there and say, "Casey, does this look okay?" And he'd say, "Yeah, Mom." Or he'd say, "I don't think you'll be comfortable," or "Mom, don't do that." So Tiffany would say, "Why do you even ask me, Tiffany?" She'd say, "Why do you even ask me, Mom? You're still going to ask Casey." I said, "Because you're going to say I look okay anyway."
Casey's going to say different.
I have to prepare you. She's be kind before Casey's real.
So when I put on that shirt to go to my mom's, I said, "Okay, do I look all right?" He said, "Yeah, Mom, that shirt really looks, it flatters you." I said, "Thank you." So when my mom saw me, she was like, "You look so good. You done lost so much weight. You just look so good." I said, "Thank you, Mom."
Yeah, my mother always had a pencil in her eyebrows too. So the whole eyebrow thing, I do understand that. But
oh yeah, see, you always do the eyebrows.
Yeah, and you can't. I tweezed them. They used to be a lot fuller. I should have never messed with them, but I do have dark eyebrows. But
Denise, how's the family? Denise say anything is possible. I called Denise say her husband. Everybody's sick except her.
Oh,
her and the 2 kids
and
2 babies.
Yeah, when I saw my mom a month ago, I cut her nails down. And it was just so weird because my mother's nails were always a little bit grown out and painted. Nobody ever saw my mother's fingernails naked. That's what we'd tell her. Fingernails could never be naked. And so but now, different circumstances and stuff.
Casey will show off his. I'm like, why don't you
he has very handsome hands. I complimented. He's got those nice long fingers.
Yeah, he won't do nothing to mine.
He's got better looking hands than most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to keep my nails filed. I grow them out a little bit. They haven't been growing very well since I had COVID. They keep breaking off. But
mine with my anemia have always just been, they break.
And yeah, my right hand, my nails are longer than my left. I don't know. They're all going to be breaking again soon. But
there in a little bit.
And I used to, when financially I was better off, I used to get them fixed, but not anymore.
Man, no, my nails are tough enough that I've only tried acrylic nails once. I did not care for that, but a friend of mine just wanted to do it, so I let her. And I could keep them polished. I don't care though. I don't even wear much makeup. So.
Denise, tell Mr. Chicken I said that we're praying for him, and I'm sorry you're hurting. It's rough. I told my husband he comes in hurting every day after work, And I told him, I said, I understand how you feel. And I know that's hard for you to understand because I haven't done anything physical and I hurt from head to toe, but you're out there doing physical work. And when he comes home, he is, he's 60 and he's ready to retire. He's ready to retire. Dwayne says naturally beautiful. That's how Kevin is. He don't care if I wear makeup. He don't care about any of that. In fact, it took him a little while to get used to my internet face. Because all of a sudden, I was going on, it didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, when I started doing the hats on Fridays, I'd kind of decorate my face. But it got to where it was fun for me to start doing makeup again.
Sure.
But I did look. All I was caring about when I knew Heather and Dwayne was coming was I gotta try to straighten up the house. Dwayne said, "Don't do anything. We're coming to see y'all. We're coming to see you." I said, "Well, once you see my beautiful face, that's all you're gonna see." You're not gonna see nothing else. And he said, "That's true. That's true." But I still, I still tried to do what I
Oh
could.
no, I totally understand, and I won't let anybody in my basement because it's horrifying.
Well, if I come to your house, I'm going to see the basement because you saw this room.
And oh yeah, we'll have to so Dwayne and I have set a goal that we've got to just basically gut the basement because it's just become storage and it's just got junk we don't even need, and then it collects dust, and you know how that is when you just got excess.
Bougie bear.
Don't ask Mrs. D to keep a secret.
No, it's like this. Dwayne said on the panel, on the chat, my daughter's moved to Tennessee. We're coming down that way and we're going to come see you. We're going to come see the Crawleys. I said, well, yay, good. I knew he's coming. I didn't know when. So when Casey said, Mom, you're going to have company coming. You're going to have to help me clean up or you're going to be embarrassed. I said, is Denise coming? He said, no. I said, is it Sandy? No. I said, Dwayne and them's coming. He said, Mom, how did you know that? Don't tell April, I said,
Tell her, Darlene.
He said they were coming. And so I can't help it. April? He said, no, when you go out there, be surprised. I said, I done told him, look, do you want me to do stew or do you want to go outside? Do you want to go to your meat?
Her stew. I was wishing I was hungrier. I could have had more. And it was, her Brunswick stew, the best. The best I've ever had.
For you guys.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. It was delicious.
And Kevin and Casey both said it was the best that I've ever made, but they say that about everything.
And we had a great visit and a lot of laughs, and
Kevin stayed in there the whole time.
Yeah, and getting to know Kevin, he's very funny. And you and I, we could just talk for days and days. Yep. And so it was great. We had a great time with April, and I got to know her significant other, and spending time with Casey. It was real good to just okay, you know I'm in person.
Well, Monique said that would be kind of weird. I said, but no, because I've talked to Dwayne enough, and you see you on the auctions. I said, what you see is what you get when you do something like this.
Yeah.
People can't just, if you go to their channel enough, if they're real or if they're not.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I feel like I asked Dwayne, well, am I just like what I am online?
Yep.
He said yes.
I always thought you were probably, even if I've never met you, that you were real.
Well, when the first time you come on the channel, Casey said, "Mom, I didn't know Josie laughed. I've never seen Josie laugh." And me and Josie, when she come on panel for the first time, I mean, me and her just, it was like we've always just.
No one knows the other side of me. I actually have a sense of humor and can get a little risque sometimes.
But no, Tyrone, when she brings Tyrone, she don't bring him down much. But when she brings Tyrone, me and him could just sit and talk by ourselves.
Yeah. Tyrone and I, because he and I stay up later than Dwayne and April, so we stayed up watching a movie and talking and had a good time. And something that I always enjoy is when I meet someone who comes from a different walk of life than what I do, yet we can still find commonalities and just connect on a human level. And if people spent more time doing that, our world would be a completely unrecognizable place.
You are 100% correct.
Because if you understand someone, you have no reason to fear them, except unless they're a sociopath or something. There are scary people out there, but most people are not scary, and they have their story. And even if their story, like I said, is very different from yours, there's still something that you can find to have a mutual understanding of each other. And if you have a level of understanding of someone, to me, that equals love.
We're not as divided as other countries think we are. It's sad, the media, what's going on.
I think the media has.
And I can't talk politics, but
I'm sure a lot of it too has to do with where you are in the country as well.
Because my channels, somebody, the Truth left me a comment. He left a comment on mine, and it really touched my heart. He said that this platform that I've been blessed with, I'll put it that way. He said that everybody's able to share. We share our laughter. We share our grief. We share our pain. He said it's a place, he said, that he doesn't see. So, I take that with me when I go to Walmart. I just see people. I talk to everybody. I don't see the bad. I do see it. I just don't.
Walmart's kind of entertainment in the West anyway.
Well, think about it. I'm reading a text, Joe. I had just got in there. I get a little buggy because I held this up. I had a little list.
A little list. Okay.
I get a little buggy. And what do? I get the 12-pack of paper towels. I get all this stuff that adds up to, and I'm holding it. I'm talking to Darlene B. I'm looking for something. They tell me, it's down at the other end. Darlene said, well, I'm going to let you go. But when I walked in, I got a message from Joss, and I'm standing there before I even walked very far, and I'm standing in Walmart with tears running because of what she sent me. Her mom, they had to give her 4 units of blood. So, it took me to Mama. Automatically, my mind goes there. And so here I am squirreling all over Walmart, going to one place, and they had to go all the way back around. And then Denise calls me, and I'm dropping, stuff's falling off, and I got my phone trying to push that little buggy. It filled up the big buggy. I asked I said, look, this ain't gonna fit in this little buggy. Could you please go get me a big buggy? He went and got me a big buggy. I'm like, Lord, how did all this fit in that little buggy? What was I thinking? And then I did this, Joe, for 2 hours, but then I had 2 more stores to go in. I was so tired, but this is day 4. Day 4.
I like what Dwayne said. When we go to Walmart, we see a little too much of people. You're right, Dwayne.
I went in my pajamas. One time, me and Tiffany purposely, I had on her Hello Kitty pajamas, and she went in her pajamas, and we did the pajama at Walmart thing. And darn if I didn't see about 2 or 3 people I worked with.
And of course, I've got Hello Kitty pajamas. But see right here, my Hello Kitty mug.
Oh, cute.
But
Well,
hey, I
what-
got on my shirt today, coffee and Jesus.
And-
I'll stand
Hey.
up. Coffee
But-
and Jesus.
Whoa,
that's
that's
funny.
a neat shirt. I like that.
You know,
But, you know,
Shamrock did me and Tracy. I told her to design me one, Jesus and coffee. And mine was pink. We'll get blue writing. Tracy's was blue with pink writing. Every Monday morning, we started off with our Jesus and coffee t-shirts. And when you get used, you get into a mindset, and you get used to it being a certain way. When things are thrown at you, it's kind of like, God, I don't know how to be me again. I can't be me without Momo in there. I can't be me without Tracy beside me. I can't be me without Liz. And they're still with me. And that's why I tell people, we FaceTime and stuff. And Tracy, bless her heart, she's hurting. So sometimes she FaceTimes with us. Sometimes I just send her messages. I send her texts. I love you. How are you feeling today? So I tell people, no, nothing's happened on this channel that has broke up the spirit of the other girls. They're still on my panel. That one right there, she's still with me, and she's still with us. I know I have enough personalities. I do. Dwayne knows that. I didn't even get to show Dwayne my outfit. Why did I not show him my outfit? It's got the corset and the skirt with it that I'm going to wear my steampunk hat. I need to lose about 15 more pounds, Dwayne.
And that's awesome.
Heather, your husband should be quite the challenge, right?
He's a big teddy bear.
Well, I'm kind of a handful.
Yes, go ahead and say it.
So he's my rock. Yeah, he's the one who keeps me stable and focused. And like I said, he doesn't get sarcastic with me, or if he does, I'll put up with it for a little bit if he's being sarcastic with me, because I don't like it. That's not how I was raised, and so I just don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, if he gets sarcastic a little too much, I'll be like, do we need to sit down and share our feelings? Is something bothering you? And then it goes away.
Oh,
The sarcasm stops.
He saves it up for Darlene.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I grew up with sarcasm. I had to tell, thank you, Derek. I had to explain one time to my grandson, because all of us was in the car going to Thanksgiving at Keevan's sister's. And it was Abriana's dad before Abriana come along. Abriana's dad, the whole expedition was full. So Casey said something to Joey, and Joey said something back, and Keevan said, Casey said, watch your tongue. I said, wait now. You could be sarcastic to him, and you call him being smarty pants. And Joey said, what's sarcasm mean? I said, being smarty pants. Oh, I said, so when Casey said this, that's sarcasm. So we taught him what that means when he was about, Abriana come along when he was 10. So he's about 7. And, so he learned when to take something serious or not.
And yeah,
We're
it's
very
sarcasm.
much like that.
Yeah. In general, with other people, sarcasm doesn't bother me. I just didn't want it coming from Dwayne.
Yeah.
And something really funny with my youngest son being on the spectrum, it took him a long time to understand what sarcasm was, because there are a lot of social behaviors that people on the spectrum, it just escapes them. Yeah. So Jeremy was probably like around 7, 8 when he figured out, okay, that's sarcasm. And it was so funny because now, unfortunately, a lot of adults, and this is changing as today's children are getting older, but a lot of adults do not know how to handle or even be around someone with high functioning autism. Other children handle kids on the spectrum easier than adults do. I found it, which is interesting. But anyway, so as when Jeremy was a child, if someone would say something sarcastic to him, he'd look at him and say, "That's sarcasm, isn't it?" Or "You're being sarcastic, aren't you?" And then it would totally catch people off guard. And then he'd say, "I don't believe in sarcasm," and people, and they didn't know what to do with that. See, and of course, I'd be laughing because it was funny.
I wonder if my grandson is on that, because he took everything literal.
That is a characteristic of it.
When another kid would say something, I would have to explain to him, "Oh no, he was joking," and he is so intelligent, and he would always take things, and I would have to explain them. Because everything, and he pushed himself. He would stay after school if he took a test. He would stay after school if he felt like that he didn't do his best.
Yeah.
He would retake a test.
Yeah, no, that also sounds like, very autistic type behavior.
Asperger's, what they used to call it. But
yeah, they used to, but now it's just autism spectrum.
Yeah, so, hey, Darlene B. I was talking about you too, talking to you in Walmart.
She felt it. Yep, she could feel it.
So he is very straightforward with stuff. I was so glad that he fit in with kids, because he did take everything that way, but he fits in. He's got friends. He'll be 17 this coming up month. I can't believe it. He's like 6'3", you guys. He's and he ended up a beanpole like his dad. He shot straight up. He got an award for being the highest. I think it was in chemistry. So he had told me when he was a kid, "Nanny, I'm going to be a doctor." I said, "You are?" He said, "Yes. So I know how to fix you. I can fix you. And I'll make enough money to fix the house too." I said, "Well, thank you, baby. Hurry up and do that." Because, and that was before we added the addition. I said, Nanny's house needs it. But he could very well. I don't know what he
he very well could be. They've got, personality traits that are very unique. It was, you meet one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, but just there are, key behaviors. And I can be talking to someone and, I pick up on it right away. Heck, sometimes I just watch someone, I can tell just by the way they're doing things. I've also found, though, that I'll be the person in the crowd that someone on the spectrum does seek out, and so to speak. But that was something that my daughter. So Natalie is just 2 years older than Jeremy, and she never was real happy about that. They even share a birthday. So they're 2 years and 22 hours apart. But I had told her and my oldest son, I said, think of the skills you're learning as children because of having a brother on the spectrum. You are learning how to treat people. It'll be automatic when you get older. And with my oldest son, he would come to me and be like, "Mom, they always put me with the weird kids, like on field trips or, to do something." And then I go to parent-teacher conference and they'd say, "We can put Ian with anyone because he treats them well."
Yep.
And my oldest son, he's tall. He's an old soul. He's older than me. It's really hard to raise someone whose soul is older than yours. But so I always told him, I'm like, "You're a leader," because he was always like a head taller than the rest of the kids in his class, and very fast learner and very funny, and of course handsome. Because I'm not biased at all. But I always told him, I'm like, "You're a leader." And he, between my 2 kids and his dad's 4 kids with his second wife, and then they adopted a kid, and then his wife has 2 younger siblings. What is that like? Does he have like 9 younger siblings? no full siblings, but a bunch of half siblings, and then, like I said, the adopted one and the brother and sister-in-law. And I just said, you're a leader. You're an oldest child. You're a leader. People will always be watching you, and you need to be mindful of that. And I know it's a bit of a pressure to put on a kid, but at the same time, I knew I was right.
Darlene B, I'll let her know about Sonja. Sonja's been in the hospital about 6 months. And, it's really getting at the point that her daughter's been with her all the time. And then she's got 3 other kids at home that are teenagers from like 13 years old to, I think, 16, something like that. So, it finally got to the point I talked to her. I said, do you care if I ask for some donations for your family? And she was like, well, I don't know how I feel about that, because that just seems, it's hard for people to accept money.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah,
and
it
so
is.
I told her
I would way rather be in a position to give than be in the position where I really could use receiving. It's horrible.
I told her, I said, do not use it on the hospital bill. Don't worry about that. You use it for you having to buy stuff at the hospital. You use it for your siblings, help pay the bills that you're paying. I guess she's getting what money her mom gets for bills, and she's doing all the adult stuff, Darlene. And I did this so the kids can have a little bit, of spending money. I've already sent 130. And that was a blessing the first day I did this. So that's what's going on with Sonja. They're going to transfer her to a different hospital. It's in the inner city, so some specialists can be more hands-on. So anyway, but going back to what you said about telling your son how he would be a leader and how you teach your children, Tiffany will tell the story that Mom would not throw away when Casey would tear up my Barbie dolls. Yeah, Casey did. He would tear up stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my youngest.
Yeah, and she said when the Barbie doll lost her leg, Mama said, we don't throw her away. She's handicapped. You don't throw anybody away because they're different. And the G.I. Joe, Casey, I guess, tore his arm, half of his arm off. And I said, well, no, G.I. Joe got hurt in the war. And I said, we don't turn our backs on them. So they played, with these same dolls.
Even as they were.
Yeah, it was a life lesson for them that I didn't realize.
Hey, I still have Headless Mary. That's what my kids call her. Because her head fell off, and I have her body and her head. She was whole when I was a little kid. That doll's nearly as old as I am. And so I still have Headless Mary.
Well, I think because I didn't see people, as that way. I grew up, my dad had one eye. He could take his eye out and he'd scare the kids and chase them around with it. I grew up, that wasn't weird to me.
My dad was born with just one eye.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's something strange for you two to have in common. Very random.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We have a lot in common, believe it or not.
Very strange.
I had my dad's teeth here because he couldn't find his glass eye to give me, so he gave me his teeth. He didn't wear them, so I brought them home.
Oh my gosh! Really?
That was something as they were wheeling my grandma out because she died at home, and then I was like, her teeth, and we didn't know where her teeth case was, and so like. My mom got a Ziploc bag, put them in there. I go, running out. Here's, you can't bury grandma without her teeth.
Mom.
Hi, Derek.
Hey, man.
Joey was terrified of those teeth because he come in one day. He's standing watching Casey play a game. He's standing by him, and he when his dad dropped him off, he said, I lost a tooth. I got some money from the tooth fairy. I said, you did? So I come in with a little change purse. I said, well, I got something. You want it? He said, yeah. I pulled out the teeth. That boy done jumped on the other side of Casey. He said, Nanny, you know I don't like that. Hey, Brianna, which is a little me, the first time she seen him, she put him in her mouth and run around chomping. I'm like, that child is me made over.
And it's weird with me, you know, I'm a retired nurse, and all my nursing career, I've done dressing changes. I've seen blood and guts and the whole works. But teeth, I could not stand to clean false teeth.
Oh, that's funny.
And I would put gloves on and I would brush them and look the other way, and my coworkers would just die laughing.
No,
I would get nauseous.
Yeah, when I worked on the floors, we just threw them in the denture cup with a little bit of mouthwash and just shake it.
The fuzzy stuff.
Well, look, I put at least one of them in my mouth. Like if it was close to Halloween, I remember one time I had this prop. I had this prop. It was a hand. And then I put my dad's teeth in. Me and Casey were going somewhere. And I done took that hand and I done put it up like this where I'm driving. And I turned and looked and there was them teeth sticking out and they were like sped up. Casey was laughing at me so bad. He said, Mama. So I couldn't do that with Kevin. If Kevin was in the car, I had to act right. But without Kevin,
she's been watching The Simpsons too much with Bart.
Yeah. That is my favorite thing. But yeah, so my mom, when I told her, I put Dad's teeth in to scare people. Oh, how do you put them? That's nasty. I said, why? I washed them.
But, yeah, it sounds nasty to me.
But my granddaughter, I have some pictures every now and then. I post it because it's a memory that she come in. I had her toys all in a thing. And what would she pull out? She'd pull out this that you bite on it and it looks like a mouth with roaches crawling out of it.
Mm-hmm. Nasty.
I mean, nasty. It's like mini me. And that's why I put, when I do that memory, I put that tears my heart out because I can't have any contact with her because she is so much like me. And her creativity, I can't see anybody understanding her like I do. If that makes sense. I'm not saying they're bad. The grandparents, they love her. Her grandmother, Mimi, she buys her the clothes. She's not frilly. She's not a frilly, girly girl like the other granddaughter on that side. So she buys her the blue jeans. She buys her the flannel shirts. She buys her the shirts with dinosaurs on them. I'm glad. You know, they buy her the trucks if she wants that for Christmas or birthday. They're not forcing her to be a girly girl, but there's still the things that I miss. And I hear people saying, well, I wish my grandkids was somewhere else, or I'm getting tired of them being the grandmom all the time. And I won't say anything to them, but my heart's breaking. And I'm like, I would give anything to get to see them. But God has let Tiffany know she's going to see her kids again. She's going to see those kids again. And every time I get upset and I think about it, then I got a happy birthday nanny from Joey. The day after I was upset about not talking to him, he sends me a happy birthday. I said, baby, it's not my birthday. It's Mama's, but I appreciate hearing from you. So Tiffany says, I'm going to see my babies again. And I got a phone call earlier. She's lost her privileges for a week, phone privileges. And he said, that happens. You know, they have rules and they're very tedious rules. And he said, I'm surprised she hasn't, you know, done that before. But he says, nothing bad. Don't think it's bad. It's just, I said, I understand. I said, besides, I think she gets more from the letters. Writing letters, you don't get but 10 minutes. She gets 10 minutes. She knows she can't talk to me and Mom just 10 minutes.
I think you need more time than 10 minutes.
Josie, it takes me more than 10 minutes to say goodbye.
You know, that's something with my oldest son. He, like I said, old soul. He graduated from high school, started working with his dad, which is the line of work he's still in 10 years later, and got married, all just in a few months. And he's still with his wife. They've been together for over a decade, married for 10 years now. And so for a while, I wasn't really hearing from him much. And I knew he was having to go out into the world and establish himself as his own man. It wasn't easy. I didn't like it. I wanted him to do what he needed to do, but I didn't like that I didn't hear from him a whole lot. But he's gonna be 29. Oh, that hurts to say that. And I hear from him a whole lot more than I used to. And we have our family group text. And doesn't that feel good when your adult child is still just need to call mom, need to check up on mom?
Yes.
And, need to share a story with her. And it always, you never lose how good that feels.
And when, that's the part that hurt when Tiffany was out there and she was homeless. Derek was around during the struggles I was having with that, because I didn't know where she was at. And I was used to, like, when she was going to college, when she was pregnant with Abriana, she'd call me and we would, she's done psychology, and she would brainstorm with me. Oh, I loved it. I loved doing that. And so she would call me about stuff like that. But when Casey wasn't living at home, he checked on me all the time. And it's sort of like here, your husband is so crazy. When you guys hear that ding,
yep, that's him.
It's him. That crazy man, I'd share it, but crazy man,
where is that jarhead? I need to see him.
He's at work.
Yep, he's at work.
And Derek, can I ask you, is it okay if I put you in my prayer angel group?
Yes, you can.
And ask for prayer. Okay.
Yeah. I had to leave because I had physical therapy here, my nurse changing my dressings, and so today's been a really busy day.
Well, I always like to ask before I, request prayer.
Thank you.
For someone.
Well, that's sort of like before I did this, I wanted to make sure with Jocelyn, and then there were people that when she first got sick, she didn't want anything on Facebook, but Jocelyn fixed it to where nobody has access to her friends or can't see any post. And I took her last name off this, and to protect her integrity of what she wanted to protect. And Jocelyn sent me a better picture, and I spelled her whole name out. That was something else. Jocelyn wanted her whole name, because I call her Joss like Sonja. But there were those things that we tweaked, and I fixed them for Jocelyn. And you want to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, out of respect,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And especially unless somebody requested, I usually just put first names, because you know what? God knows who we are. We don't even sometimes have to have a name.
Right.
You don't need to introduce yourself.
Right.
When I pray at night and I name everything, sometimes I go silent for a while, because in my head, I am picturing people, I'm picturing them. And then I'll say, thank you, Lord, for loving me. And then amen. And, Keegan knows by now that I pray for my side of the family first. And then the side, I always pray for the family God bless me. I'll say God blessed me with, but was not born to me. And that's everybody here. Everybody here are the family that he blessed me with, but was not born to me.
Right.
And that's the way.
Well, that's why I'm so happy about, even though I'm not really her uncle, but I'm uncle by friend, and I'm so happy that my best friend had a granddaughter yesterday, 8 pounds, 5 ounces.
Oh, that's a good size.
Yeah, she is absolutely adorable. I showed her earlier, but let me see. I'll show her with Grandma.
Oh, how
Aw.
precious. How precious.
Yep. Her name's Sky.
Oh yeah, wait, that's
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, so cute.
Josie. I am a great grandma.
You are?
And our
Wow.
oldest daughter will be 40 her next birthday, so that'll make you sure feel
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
Heather.
See, I'll never be a great grandma because I have 3 grandkids, and my son didn't get married until he was 38.
Mhm.
And so my oldest grandson is 13, and the
I've never-
youngest is 10. So I'll never be a great grandma. I can't live that long.
Oh,
At this
yes,
rate,
you
I'm never
can.
going to be a grandma. And I can, with the ages of all 3 of my kids, you know, I've told them, like with my son, I had all 3 of my kids by then. By the time I was my daughter's age, I just had one still. But yeah, I've told them, not that I recommend how I do it, but I'm like, at this rate, I'm never going to have any grandkids.
Well,
That's why I kept you guys alive so I could have grandkids.
Casey always said he wanted Tiffany to have a little girl so he could dress her up like Britney Spears.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And then she comes out loving her pawpaw, so she would snatch off her shirt, and when he would do his goal, he pops the can. Well, she'd get the can and want to pop it at 4 years old. Then she figured out she could pop it on her stomach and sound just like her pawpaw. I'm like, oh my gosh. My granddaughter is going to be driving a 4-wheel drive, dipping skull, and being a little redneck redhead girl popping her skull can. And sure enough, she likes her boots and she likes
No dainty clothes for her, huh?
no. And
with the empty bottle to spit into after. Yep.
Oh.
when she'd come to the house, I'd fix her hair, but then sometimes she'd just mess it up, toss that shirt, and I'd be like, okay. Hetty said, "Hey, Derek."
Hi, Hattie.
Okay, I've got a quick cut off because somebody messaged me. Willow. I won't say who, Willow, because I've been on since 11.
Yeah. Well, I love the new time. See, I can come on now that you're not. When I was on before, I had to get up at 5 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in Southern California.
Okay. Oh, so you're neighbors with my sister. I have a sister in Southern California.
I have a raccoon in there that has not eaten again. And she's looking for me. She hears me and looking like, hey, where?
Hey, we need to see a picture of the raccoon.
I will send you one in private chat.
And I held her.
For just a moment because
she wanted her mama back. Yep. It's not like holding a puppy or a kitten that are like, hey, I'm getting love. No, very different.
I watch a channel from Canada who feeds raccoons.
Yeah. And but the bad thing of it is there are people that will report you, and
I guess where he lives, it's not against the law because somebody has reported him, and it's not.
But I tell people, somebody said, "Oh, I want one." I said, "You better tell that person." No, you don't. She wants to get. I got to get her. I got to go to PetSmart and get her harness type thing so she can, and I have her on a leash so she can kind of go through the house and act crazy but won't get away from me. They are very destructive. All I have to do is put some paper near the pen, and that's her. And her and Bailey, now that she's a certain age and I know she's not doesn't have like distemper or anything, the two of them will kind of lick on each other, lick through the pen. But when I let her out, Bailey's 60-pound bulldog.
Wow.
She wants to hold her down. She wants to hold her down like the cat and lick her and clean her. And no, they're not like a kitten or a cat.
No, raccoons can, yeah, they're destructive, really, and they can be mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But-
yeah, she kind of rolls on her back and covers her eyes, and I'll say, "Get!" And then I have to make Bailey stop because when she rolls up in the ball and covers her little eyes like that. But yeah,
They are cute, though, I think.
yes, and I got her. She was 4 ounces, if that much, Joe.
Oh
And
my
she
gosh.
hardly had it. So her eyes wasn't even developed all the way. Her ears don't open till they open their eyes. So
So you rescued her, really?
somebody called me, and she had just been born. She wasn't but a few days old. So that's the first time I've had one that young. And now
Wow.
she's about 5 pounds. Oh, she's even grown from a week, Heather.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely adorable. You know
So
what was so
I'm gonna get off. So you can get off, and I've had fun, and God bless everyone. And
I love you, Josie.
love you too.
good to
Thank
talk
you,
with you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everybody, for what you've given. I'll be back tomorrow. Then next week, I really want to help Willow with the Isaiah, with what she's going through too. I never, this is what I feel led to do. And I thank everybody for staying on. This is the longest that I've been on.
You did a marathon today.
I did, and I did kind of want to stretch it out. So I'll probably do the same thing tomorrow, Heather. If you wake up, I'll eat, I'll still send the link either way.
Okay.
Oh, I'm out of breath. All right. I love you guys.